Hello, hello, hello. Welcome once again to the next episode of Heresy Hammer. I am Lee at Death from the Shadows on the gram, and joining me today is John, also known as D6 Miniatures. John's just been telling me about a lovely trip he's had to London.
Yeah,
Um, and that's all we
lovely,
need to
lovely in
know
all
about
senses of the word, Lee. Yeah.
that.
Do you know what it was? It was a time of my life that I will never see again.
Thing is, I used to live in, you lived in London,
Yeah, I
didn't
used
you?
to live in
Yeah,
London. Yeah, but
yeah,
there's
I
a
used to
reason
live
why I
in
left.
London. And yeah, I don't miss living in London. Like
No,
yeah,
no.
I do not, especially South London. I do not fucking miss it one bit. Shout out
Oh,
to all our London viewers.
yeah, we love you. You guys
Sucks to be
are,
you.
yeah, you guys really are absolute warriors. So, oh,
Anyways, what are we doing today? We are going to be deep diving into the 14th Legion, the Death
yes,
Guard.
finally. I think this has been
Yeah.
one of the most requested Legion reviews, and I think this is actually the last one.
Oh,
So
really?
just
Oh,
I think so.
fuck.
I think we've done them all now. So
Well,
just in time for a new edition to drop.
just, yeah. I was thinking about this morning and I was
Yeah.
like, it just kind of popped into my head of like, yeah, Death Guard are one of the most popular legions, surely.
Yeah.
And then I was a bit like, are they? And I was like, you see them a lot.
Mm.
But then I was like, but are they, or is it just, I don't know, is it just like social media
Yeah.
but I feel
Are
like
there?
they are probably one of the better represented
I'd say so.
legions at events. But then I started thinking, well, why? Like, what is it that
I'll tell
attracts
you, Lee.
people to the Death Guard?
I think
Um,
they are. They've got a really, really cool narrative.
yeah,
They've got a really, really great backstory. They're well represented in the 41st millennium as well. They've got a really
yes.
good. They've got some phenomenal modeling opportunities. Um,
And as we're
I
going to see, they've got some fucking fantastic rules.
They have got some fantastic rules, and I think also they're quite a forgiving legion to paint from a hobby perspective as well.
Yes, yeah, just weather the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can just
yeah,
spray
yeah,
it bone with a rattle can and then just
yeah.
dab on some sponging and some oils, and they'll look
Yeah,
really
true.
good.
Yeah,
Like it's
true.
not,
Yeah.
I think if you're not necessarily the most confident of painters, or you like a particularly like heavily weathered style, I think
Yeah.
they suit that really, really, really well. Like you can get a really good looking Death Guard army on the table
I
in
think,
like no time at all.
yeah, it's true. I mean, because I ran a small Death Guard force in first edition, and
Mm,
yeah, for me, it is they are kind of like the epitome of the heresy. They're like
yeah,
they're the ultimate kind of grim dark, but then they're also the ultimate fall from grace. You know, they
yeah,
go from a fairly respected legion to just fucking Nurgle's rot.
yeah.
But in a fairly tragic kind of way.
Yeah, I
You
think
know
that's
what I
absolutely
mean?
right. It is a
Uh,
real tragedy. It's not the Emperor's Children who like, just full on embraced it.
just yeah.
Mortarion was anti, like the only reason that you feel like he fell to the powers of chaos was to save his legion, really.
Yeah,
So
and yeah, it's yeah, it
mm,
really is a Greek tragedy.
I think he's also got one of the more interesting Primarch's like backstories as well.
I would say it's probably easily my favorite
Mm,
Primarch backstory.
yeah,
Um,
I think
just
that's fair. But I mean,
you could
Barbarous
you
just
could
seems fucking horrendous, doesn't it?
you could do a skirmish game just based off pre-Imperium Barbarous. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
fucking alien, whatever they are, overlord
Isn't it
dickheads.
Necromunda Ash Waste? Isn't that
I
basically
mean,
it?
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. If you haven't read his backstory, go and read it because
Yeah, it's really,
it
really
is the
good.
stuff of nightmares.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
and you've got some really interesting characters in there as well.
yeah, yeah,
They're there all the way from like the very beginning with like Nathaniel Garrow. And
yes, yeah,
they're
yeah.
present on Istvan. They're there at the siege right up until the bitter end.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And one of the most reliable legions as well, I would say,
yeah,
alongside the
the
Iron
Iron Warrior
Warriors.
was, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, cool. So before we get started, a quick shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to Dan at Gate 3D Printing. If you want any kind of premium 3D stuff printed, check out Dan at Gator3D on Instagram, and he's on Facebook. And if you are on our WhatsApp chat group thing, he is fairly prevalent on there too.
Yeah, he is, bless him.
So feel free to hit him up on there too if you have any questions at all. And if you also want more 3D printing, check out Beowulf, beowulfminiatures.com, or they're also on Instagram, Beowulf Miniature Printing, and on Facebook. And again, just ask them any questions. These Beowulf has about 10 million 3D printer things, so they will be able to do any project you want, I'm fairly
Yeah,
certain.
you and Rob talked about that like fully modular Mordheim board that you printed recently,
Oh,
and
fuck, I
I've
forgot
been
about that. Yeah.
irving over that
Oh, mate, it's
so
fucking
much.
amazing. Yeah, go check out. Was it on their Instagram? I think
I
I
think
saw it.
so, yeah. It was
Go check out Beowulf.
unreal.
They did a modular Mordheim. For those of you that don't know, it's like a skirmish fantasy miniatures game.
It's one of the
Uh,
best games ever. It is
yeah, and this
genuinely.
board is fucking insane. It is
It's
fucking
wild.
brilliant. Yeah, I want to see it in the flesh because I feel like it's one of those things that you could look at for an hour and keep finding shit. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Oh, there's a new thing there. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check out Beowulf. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. Yeah, I don't play Mordheim, but that is the sort of thing that would make me want to play it.
Oh, so
So
yeah.
immersive.
Time to dig my Vampire Counts warband out of cold
Oh,
storage, maybe.
don't stop. Especially with those new miniatures they released for
Oh,
Age of Sigma.
oh
I
God.
have no interest in Age of Sigma, but
No,
some of the
nobody
miniatures,
does anymore.
no,
That's the problem.
no, but some of the miniatures they produce, fuck my life.
I know.
And if you want some awesome 3D printed scenery to put all your awesome 3D printed miniatures, then go
Yeah.
check out Sacrus Mundus, at Sacrus Mundus on Instagram, or check them out on Colts 3D, My Mini Factory, and Patreon. Um,
If you want a
and
fully modular
they,
house, for instance.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, Go check them out. Obviously, any scale, if you play Adeptus Titanicus, Legions Imperialis, or the mighty finest 28 millimeter Age of Darkness, hit them up. They have some awesome stuff.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
Top
awesome.
fucking lads.
Right, but that is it. Shall we just go straight into it? I think
Yeah,
we've
mate.
kind of
Right.
talked enough.
Right into the meat and the potatoes. So I think I genuinely think this is one that I've been excited for a long time because I've been playing Death Guard a lot recently.
How
Um,
how have you
and
found them before we get how is there any
really, really enjoyable. I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed about them is that they can kind of play nicely in all phases. They're
right?
not like
They're
they're
not
quite
shooting centric, assault centric. They're a
yeah,
bit
they
of
do
dabble of everything.
yeah, they do a bit of everything. You kind of they're not like in the kind of jack of all trades, master of none, but
Yeah,
they're a solid 7 to 8 out of 10 in every scenario.
nice.
And that means that they play quite nicely. I think they're perceived as one of the stronger legions, but I think the reason is just because they haven't really got like a definitive weakness. They're not
Yeah,
like crushingly overpowered in one particular aspect, but they're pretty damn good at everything. And you can get really there's lots of nice list building and synergizing that you can do as well. So I think that you tend to see I think it's like different Death Guard army to one that you would normally see for the majority of legions in so much
right.
my army lists I've been playing anyway have just got like a real eclectic mix of everything.
Yeah,
Quite elite as well, so not like a absolute crap ton of models for me to have painted. Although you could 100%, you could go real like super
mass
massive infantry
tax.
heavy
Yeah,
or
yeah.
mass tanks or whatever it may be. But yeah,
Yeah, I have been having very bad thoughts about I'm at that point now where I can add an allied detachment to my Iron Warriors.
Ooh,
And I keep coming. I was like, I'll do militia, and then I'm like, no, I won't
no,
because
you
I
won't.
don't know.
No, you won't. No, you won't,
I'll
Lee. I'll
do
tell you that
solar
flat
auxiliary,
out
and then it's
now.
like, no, I
No, I
won't. And I
won't.
was like,
No, no.
oh. And then I saw. I mean, I'll be honest. I saw those new Emperor's Children 40K models, and I was like, that would be quite a cool little
Yeah,
project. But I just keep coming back to Death Guard. I ran them
yeah,
in first edition. I love the idea of a late Heresy Siege of Terror kind of
yep,
Nurgle,
yep.
not 40K silly tentacles, but kind of somewhere between
Yeah, bloated and
40K.
distended
Yeah.
Marines.
I
Yeah,
I think they will look fucking awesome. So I am, yeah, and I
Well,
actually have a fuckload of the 40k.
oh, there you go.
What are they? Death Guard Nurgle models. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
Oh God.
pains me to say it, but if you do live under a rock and you haven't followed Jack Eldridge, Ambles of Conor, then obviously he is
There's
like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like I
yeah.
say, it makes me feel a little bit sick to my stomach, but he is the man for really inventive ways of
Yeah,
creating Death Guard. Like he just is.
yeah, yeah,
He's Mr. Death Guard, and his army is genuinely unlike anything else in the world, I don't think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what's all the hype about? So the Legion Starters Death Guard special rule is remorseless. A model with this special rule that does not have the cavalry unit type or artillery unit subtype ignores any modifiers or restrictions on moving during the movement phase, including modifiers imposed by terrain or restrictions from rules such as pinning, which would normally stop them from moving, as long as the model does not run or make use of another alternative form of moving, such as activating a jump pack, disembarking, or deploying via deep strike. Furthermore, as long as the model has not run or used an, I mean, I would start off by saying that that first part of the rule is pretty good. I mean, we'll break it
Yep.
down in a minute, but
Yeah.
that just that start
This
is
is
pretty good,
classic Age of
and then
Darkness. 150 words to do the
to
work of
say, yeah,
30.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where was I? Furthermore, as long as the model has not run or used another alternative form of movement in the controlling player's movement phase, it is counted as stationary when making shooting attacks until the start of the controlling player's next turn. This special rule does not affect whether or not a model may make a charge and does not allow models with the vehicle unit type to ignore the effects of an immobilized result on the vehicle damage table, but does allow a model with a vehicle unit type to move even when under the effect of the crew stunned result on the vehicle damage table. Whew. So what does that all mean? Essentially, they are not slowed by kind of difficult, dangerous terrain. They can
Yep.
still move when they're pinned, which is fucking brilliant.
Yep.
Um, and if they don't run, they can shoot any fucking weapon they like.
Correct.
Hello, heavy support squads.
Yep.
Hello, scout squads with sniper rifles.
Yeah. Also, as well, vehicles being able to move like full movement fire
Yes,
with their weapons
it's
as well.
just fucking brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's so good. And I remember when well, we all remember when the rules first released for second edition. And people weren't really jumping on the Death Guard, were they? They weren't
No.
really, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, this is actually quite shit," because well, a heavy support squad's just going to sit at the back of the table and not move. It's like, well, maybe, but
But
maybe
also,
not.
actually, when you get playing the game, I think we had this discussion with Adam on the Thousand Suns Legion deep dive we did, and it was the consensus that I think majority of people that have played a lot of games of Heresy, especially in the second edition, the game is won and lost in the movement phase.
Movement is key. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, 100%. Um, and yeah, just the ability. So, one thing I didn't think to check,
Mm.
the special does this mean that you can move a vehicle like its full distance and then still deploy troops inside?
Mm.
Or does that
Don't know because I don't believe so.
this special rule does not affect. No, 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 no. It is counted as stationary when making.
Making
It's
shooting
just
attacks.
shooting attacks, isn't
Yeah.
it? No, sorry, yeah, yeah.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
no,
It's a
but
good question
still,
to ask.
like it is amazing. Like
It
being
is
able to
really, really good.
move. You're basically all your tanks are fast, essentially.
Yeah.
Like it's so good, especially if you play. Well, I mean, there'll be games where, this has less impact, if you have an empty table. But if you have like most tables in Heresy, they generally, you have some form of line blocking, if not a
Yeah.
lot of line blocking. And then this is huge. And then move this into Zone Mortalis as well. And
It's
yeah,
bananas.
yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
Really,
So
really,
good,
really good.
so good.
And Zone
And
Mortalis, this is like you're playing a complete different game.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's ridiculously good.
And the fact that you can't run, well, you can run, but you would probably choose not to run, but
Yeah.
this army is so mobile. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
For a slow and purposeful legion, they are ridiculously mobile.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, oh, no, my computer's not working. Why won't it?
Oh no.
There you go. Oh no, now it's working. Oh, now I've got boxes everywhere. Go away. Right.
Do you know what?
So
I'll
the
read the advanced
advanced
reaction then in that
reaction,
case
yeah,
then.
go for it. Yeah.
So
Can I
this
just say one
is,
thing? Like, I
yeah,
I love the naming of this. So the special rule is remorseless, and the advanced reaction is remorseless
remorseless
advance.
advance.
This is
Yeah.
they've gone all out there, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. They found the word and they thought,
Yeah.
right, we're going to run with this.
We'll just go with that because it's
That's right.
remorseless.
So this advanced reaction may be made once per battle during the opposing player's shooting phase when an enemy unit declares a shooting attack targeting a friendly unit under the reactive player's control with the Legion Astartes Death Guard special rule. All normal stuff. Where it's not normal is this. All units in a shooting, so in a unit targeted by the shooting attack that trigger the risk reaction and gain the feel no pain 4 plus special rule against hits inflicted by the shooting attack, and then automatically pass any morale or pinning test they're called upon to take as part of the shooting attack. Once this attack has been entirely resolved, this unit may make a move in any direction up to 7 inches, obeying all the normal rules for making a move.
Oh,
But
it's
bearing in
so
mind, they're
good.
not slowed by difficult and dangerous terrain anyway, so
Yeah, so they're getting that full 7 inch move.
yeah,
Yeah, this is really good, I
yeah.
think, personally. Really, really good. Um, yeah, I mean, just you can use it to push that scoring unit onto that objective. You could save
Yeah.
it end of turn, or your Death Star that's foot slogging is now moving 7 inches towards the target it wants to punch in the face.
Yeah, your Death
Um,
Shroud unit that isn't going to be insta-gibbed by much stuff because they are because they're battle hardened,
Battle
all of a sudden
hardened, yeah.
gains a 4 up feel no pain and then can run towards you.
It's fucking brilliant. It's
Yeah.
so good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. In
Because a
again,
lot.
in
Go
Zone
on, sorry.
Mortalis, this is unfair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of movement reactions tend to be like you have to move towards or away,
Yeah.
and this is just do what you like. 7 inches, free
Yeah.
move, go
And it
for
means
it.
you can jump back into a vehicle, for instance,
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes, all saying obeying all the normal rules for making a move, so you can re-embark back into a vehicle.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can run
yeah.
into
Didn't
cover.
even
You can
think
run
of
out of
that
line of
actually.
sight,
Yeah,
and you've also got a feel no pain 4 up.
yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good, really good. Um, like it a lot. Oh, this bloody computer keeps. There you go. So Warlord traits. So the Reaper's Visage, traitor only. This Warlord trait may only be selected by a model with the traitor allegiance. Any enemy unit with at least one model within 12 inches of a Warlord with this trait must reduce the leadership of all models in that unit by -2 whenever making a leadership test, morale check, or attempting a regroup. Fuck me. Unless
It
that
is
unit, that's
wild.
that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Unless that unit also includes at least one model with the independent character special rule or the Primarch unit type. Okay, so there's a caveat to it. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the opposing player's assault phase as long as warlord has not been removed as a casualty. So yeah, just a -2 leadership
I'm going to tell you,
bubble.
Lee, this is having played with this one more extensively than any of the others. This is absolutely nuts,
Yeah, yeah,
especially paired with something like a Legion Herald,
yeah.
who has a banner that causes fear. And then at night, you can create this sort of 24-inch -4
Or
bubble.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then you're
Or paired
yeah.
with a chaplain or what have you as well.
Oh
But
God,
like,
that's so good. That
yeah,
is
Legion
so
Herald in
good.
Tartarus Terminator armor running around with some Death Shroud.
I think there's one thing we definitely know in this edition is that the ability to make it harder to pass
Yeah.
leadership tests, morale checks, and
Yeah.
regroups is just fucking powerful,
Just
isn't it?
completely messes with your opponent's game plan when
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have to do the fact you don't have to do an awful lot to cause a morale test or a pinning test, for instance. And if it's being taken at -4 and you've got a guy whose leadership 7 or 8, there's a strong possibility that it's going to
yeah,
fail. Even
yeah,
leadership like -3, even -2, like it's
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
And it's
Really
also a
good.
leadership test, so it's things like, units in combat, but it's not necessarily units in combat with this particular guy.
Yeah.
If you
No,
use in
it's a
combat with
24-inch
anyone
bubble.
within
Yeah, yeah,
12
yeah.
inches,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. I like that a
it's
lot.
absolutely wild stuff.
Go on then. Do you want to read A Witch
I
Hunter?
will. Witch Hunter. So a warlord with his trait gains +1 to his toughness and weapon skill when locked in combat with any unit that includes at least one model with the Psyker subtype.
Uh,
Yeah, all friendly units in
I
play.
got really excited then, and then I read the
Yeah.
Psycho bit. I was like, oh.
Mm. There are still a fair amount of Psykers around and
Yeah,
about, so
yeah.
it's not completely. And
No.
you lots of characters have the Psyker subtype in a kind of weird little quirks as well. So
Yeah.
it's not completely redundant. All friendly units composed entirely of models with the Death Guard special rule and with at least one model within 12 inches of the Warlord gain a 6 up invulnerable save against any hits inflicted by a psychic weapon, psychic power, or perils of the warp. In addition, an army whose Warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the opposing player's assault phase. So I would say that this
Interesting.
is situationally really, really good, but the
Yes.
Reaper's Visage is just good, flat out
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. If you play Thousand Suns a lot, then this is the one for you.
Yeah,
But yeah, Reaper's Visage. My God.
it's just crazy.
And then the final one, the Blood of Barbarous. Any hits with the Rending X, Murderous Strike X, Poisoned X, or Fleshbane special rule allocated to a Warlord with this trait, or any model the Legion has a status Death Guard special rule in a unit he joins, only gain the benefit of those special rules on a d6 roll of a 6, instead of the value listed as part of that special rule. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the opposing player's shooting phase, as long as the warlord has not been removed as a casualty. Okay, yeah,
Really good.
I like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. It's a bit like one of the Mechanicum
Yeah. Yeah.
rules. Um, and actually, there is a lot of. I mean, the rending definitely is we see it a lot. Um,
Yeah. Rendon, Murder Strike, things like,
yeah, I
there. Yeah.
I do like that. Would still lean to Reaper's Visage, but
Yeah.
that is yeah, that's a pretty
It's
good one.
interesting,
And I
Blood of
have to
Barbarous, though, that it doesn't also include breaching as well. I think that's a bit of an odd one.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because
yeah.
Rendon, yeah,
The
true.
thing to bear in mind is also as well that Reaper's Visage is traitor only, whereas I think you do see of the traitor legions, you do still see a higher proportion than most of loyalist Death Guard.
Mm, mm,
They've got some very interesting loyalist characters, so I think there is definitely a tendency for people to want to run loyalist Death Guard as well, and that's
yeah.
maybe where you would look at taking Blood of Barbarous because
And I think like an extra reaction in the shooting phase
yeah,
is primo
yeah, I agree with you.
reactions. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't hate any of them, to be honest.
no,
I feel like, yeah, -2 leadership is fucking huge, but
it's
I do
mental.
like the other two.
Yeah,
So Rights of War. Here we go. This is
here we
where we
go.
turn it up another
This is where it goes. Yeah, this is where
notch.
we turn it up from 10 to 11. I think that these two are both brilliant, and I would say they are two of the best Rights of War in the game.
There's
Um,
nothing. I'm just having a quick look, maybe. Yeah. No, I'm just checking that there's nothing at the top of the page saying this
yeah,
can only be used as a primary detachment. So
well, some of them are in the
in the
yeah.
limitations. Okay.
So
So first off, Rights of War, the Reaping affects Legion veteran squads may be chosen as troops choices in a detachment using this Right of War.
brilliant.
Pretty good.
They don't go in line,
Legion,
but they
no,
do, but they are still troops, which is
but
phenomenal.
yeah. And I think we were talking about this a little while ago on one of our little chat groups, I think. And the main reason you don't see veteran squads is because they're in the elite slot.
Yeah,
Like, it's not
and it's
because they're
so
not good,
congested.
because they're fucking brilliant,
Yeah,
but they're competing with other things
people
you
want
would
to take
probably rather take.
contemptors. People want to take these days contemptors, apothecaries, tech marines, and rapiers.
Yeah, rapiers. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and that's why
So,
you don't see vets.
yeah, and now you are freeing them up.
Spoiler alert: I've got vets in the troops choice in my Death Guard army. So
Yeah. Oh God, this is fucking giving me bad thoughts. Legion heavy support squads may be taken as non-compulsory troops choices in a detachment using this right of war.
bananas.
There it is, people. The unit that can move and shoot is now a non-compulsory troops choice.
Yeah, so you've got
Fucking,
your two
oh,
units of vets to fill
so
out your
good.
compulsory troops, and then four heavy support squads filling out the rest.
So good, so good. Any model chosen as part of a detachment using this right of war, both the Legion as a starters, Death Guard special rule, and the character subtype may be given rad grenades for 10 points
Also,
each.
absolutely insane.
Fucking brilliant. That's
Yeah,
so good.
so good.
Ah, so good. Limitations. There are some limitations. Models taken as part of detachment using this right of war may not make run moves or make any reaction that allows them to make a move, with the exception of remorseless advance reaction. Okay.
I've seen loads of people conveniently forget this when I've played against them anyway.
Really?
So I
Yeah.
would advise if you are playing as the Death Guard army is playing the Reaping, don't forget they can't move as part of a reaction unless they're doing their advanced reaction. You'd be like,
Yeah.
like, can't be doing that.
Cheeky,
Because
cheeky.
people will.
No unit detachment using this right of war may be assigned to a deep strike assault, subterranean assault, or flanking assault, and units which must deploy by this method therefore cannot be chosen as part of the detachment. Okay. So yeah, okay, the unable to move reactions
Yeah.
is that's that's a bit annoying because the movement reactions are actually really fucking handy. You can really screw your opponent over sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think the effects absolutely
Oh,
100%
they
outweigh the
outweigh, right?
limitation.
The positives outweigh the negatives here, Lee, I think.
Like,
Really.
like, fuck. Uh, uh, yeah, and yeah, I'm having bad thoughts of an allied because an allied force, you could take a veteran squad and
Yeah.
then
Just
just
take a veteran
heavy
squad and then
support.
heavy support squads,
I
yeah.
have a real hard on. I'm going to tell you
Mm-hmm.
now for a multi-melter heavy
Multi-mouse heavy
support
support
squad
squad,
in a
correct.
land
Yep.
raider,
Yeah.
and just shove them straight down your opponent's
Why in a
throat.
Land Raider? Why not just put him in a Rhino?
Because I just like the idea
Oh,
of
I'm
them
not sure
being
they
in
can go in a Rhino.
for no reason other than I just like the idea of it. Like I
Yeah.
just think it's cool as fuck.
2 seconds. I
Um,
have to now check and see
I was literally thinking
if they can go in a Rhino.
that.
A few moments later.
Yes, they can go in a Rhino. So there you go. I run a multi-metal heavy support squad on foot, and I can tell you that they are an absolute mother bastard to deal with. They are so really
Oh,
cheap.
I
And
fucking
people
love
are
them.
always like, oh, it's a 24-inch range is like a little bit limiting. Well, it is, but when you've got a 7-inch move as well, like also you've got a 31-inch threat range and they're
Yeah,
28.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's
Oh,
so good,
fuck.
Lee. I love
Fucking hell.
it. But also as
Right.
well, it means that your like your 12-inch melter threat range in terms of like being able to get within a tank is now a 19-inch melter
It's
threat
so
range.
good. So good.
I know.
And
I
as we discovered last weekend,
yeah.
multi-melters fucking hurt.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
had
Ask
for some
Jimmy.
context, me, Rob, and friend of the show, James, played some games this weekend. And me and Rob were playing against James in a 4,000 first 4,000 point game. And I had a four-man Thalax squad deep strike behind James's Cerberus.
Yeah.
Uh, um, obviously got intercepted to fuck. So the only guy left standing was a single Thalax with a multi-melter. Uh, into the back of James's Cerberus. Kapow! Fucking one shot at it. Survived James's turn, and then the next turn turned around and he had a Raven Guard. I can't remember what it was. Raven Guard, console with a sniper rifle on.
Vigilator.
No, it wasn't. It was just a
Pathfinder.
Delegatus with a
Oh.
sniper rifle. And then the Thalax bounced over to him and then shot him in the face with the melter gun and fucking turned into slag. So one Thalax destroyed a Lord of
Oh,
War and a Delegatus in
I
two
love it.
turns.
I'm a
So
huge
yeah,
fan. Huge, 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 huge,
multi-melters,
huge fan.
fuck.
Okay, right. Oh, so good. I think Lee and I are
Right.
going to get distracted, but before we do that, I'm going to read Creeping Death. Whilst
Do
we
you want to
just
go
start,
through this then, mate?
yeah, I'll go through Creep and Death. So, all models in a detachment with this Rite of War that have the Death Guard special rule automatically pass any dangerous terrain test they are called upon
Oh,
to take. Really fun. And I'm going to
yeah.
tell you which is really, really good to be paired with in a second once we get through this. So, all models in the deployment zone of a detachment using this Rite of War gain the Shrouded 6-up special rule, and the entire deployment zone of a detachment using this Rite of War counts as difficult and dangerous terrain.
Oh God,
That
that's
is
fucking filthy.
bananas. But if you've got a jump pack, for instance, and you're trying to
Yeah.
like deep strike in, like you're going to be rolling ankles all over the
Oh God,
place.
but like there's quite a few missions where it is like you
Yeah.
need to get into your opponent's deployment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Or if
and
if you're playing an objective
and
based
dangerous
game and you're
terrain
replacing
nowadays is
objectives,
just yeah.
yeah. But also
Like
also Lee, all zones of area terrain on the battlefield, including named types such as jungles, woods, ruins, or craters, also count as dangerous terrain.
oh yes, that's so good. Oh, you're gonna put your scout squad in that ruin, are you?
Yeah.
No, because they're gonna fucking die the second they move.
Yep. And in a detachment using this Rite of War, Grave Ward and Terminator squads can be taken as non-compulsory troops choices.
Yes. Yeah, this like dangerous terrain in second edition hurts. If you're taking massed dangerous terrain tests, you're just gonna lose bodies. Like you're gonna roll ones
Hey
and they're
Lee,
just fucking gone.
have you ever heard of the Arquettes of Bombard with Graviton Charge Cannon?
I mean, I've heard of it, but
Have you ever
no one
seen it on
ever
the
uses it.
battlefield?
No, I haven't ever seen it. No.
Would you like to know what it does?
Go on then, tell me what it does.
So, yes, it might not necessarily be the most offensive weapon, but I would say that it is the most oppressive weapon available in the 31st millennium because it fires the 7-inch massive blast,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which remains in play for the
Okay.
entire game and makes that particular 7-inch count as dangerous terrain.
How the fuck did I not know about
So
this?
all of a sudden, you can then pin your opponent in place utilizing dangerous terrain, of which your army can just stroll through.
Okay, yeah, this is I guess that's the trouble, isn't it? If you use so say I use one with my Iron Warriors,
Yeah,
I then have to move also
correct.
through that
You
terrain.
do.
So
You
I'm
do.
going to be removing
With the
large
Iron
amounts of
Warriors, though, you just pin people in place so you can continuously shell them while they
yeah, well, I
walk
mean,
slowly towards you,
yeah.
rolling their ankles.
But yeah,
With
that's
with
huge.
this, yeah,
By turn, I mean, if you're playing a 6 turn game, by
yeah,
turn six,
yeah,
basically the entire table is
it's
dangerous
dangerous terrain. Yeah.
terrain. That's fucking disgusting. I mean, I guess the only thing I would say about this
Mm.
is it could start to create a slightly negative play experience
Oh,
for your
correct. Yeah, like I
opponent.
said, it is oppressive. It is an absolute mother bastard of a thing to be
Especially like
playing.
fucking hell.
Yeah. I think this is a
Interesting.
list on a right of war. I think you crack out situationally, like if you're playing in the campaign, for instance, where you're on
Yeah,
a rat like a
yeah.
rad ravaged planet, for instance.
Oh God.
So it does have some limitations. This right of war may only be used by detachment of the traitor allegiance. Boo hoo.
Yeah.
And the army using this right of war must include a Legion Cataphracti, Legion Centurion, Cataphracti Centurion, or Legion Tartarus Centurion with the Siegebreaker Legion Console, which is no bad thing.
Okay. So you
Have to take
can't
a
take
Siegebreaker.
this as an allied force
No.
because you need to take Siegebreaker. That's a shame. Um, I love the idea,
I mean, you
and
can do. You have to take a compulsory HQ. So there's nothing stopping you taking a Siegebreaker as your compulsory HQ.
yeah, but then you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to
Oh, but
take
take a
a
right of
right
war.
of war, would
Yeah,
you?
correct, actually. Oh,
Uh,
see what driving and the lack of sleep does to the brain.
I there's a now this I know that this piece of artwork can split the room, but there's an old piece of artwork of Death Guard Mark III jump pack troops in Visions of Heresy,
Yeah,
and I fucking love that piece of artwork. So just the ability to take Death Guard jump like assault troops
yeah,
that just don't give a fuck about dangerous terrain tests just gets me frothing, to be totally honest with you. Ignoring everything else that this does,
yeah,
that
yeah.
alone is fucking amazing.
Imagine that, a harsh counter to your opponent. Oh, it's so good. Lee,
It's
love it. If someone
yeah,
turns up and plays me with a siege breaker, 40 assault marines, 20 Grave Wardens and 3 Arquitor Bombards with Graviton
You'd
Charge
look at that
Cannons.
list and you'd be
I'll
like,
be
I'm gonna fucking smash this prick.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If you
yeah,
didn't know what Creeping Death did, you'd be like,
yeah,
oh, this is bullshit.
yeah.
I'm gonna do you
I
by
bow to you,
turn two.
sir.
And then by turn one, you've lost half of your,
Yeah,
well,
half
by
your
turn two
rolled
or three, you've
ankles.
lost half your army to fucking danger
Yeah, and you've moved 3
strength.
inches forwards.
Oh God, yeah, this is really good. I like it
Yeah,
a lot.
absolutely.
But
Cool.
again, movement is key. So being able
Yeah,
to restrict your opponent's movement
without
is,
restricting your own is
yeah.
just BANANES, mate.
Okay, no, yeah. Okay, okay. Right. So, special war gear.
Yeah,
So
they've got loads of special
Alchem
war gear as well. It's really
munitions.
cool.
So these
Oh,
are
they're one of the best
basically
legions. I really do like Death Guard. I'm literally, I had some miniatures that I was selling over the weekend, and I had to get them out of my case with my Death Guard in, and I was just looking at them, just going,
fucking love you.
"Oh, I love these guys. I love these guys."
So Alchem munitions.
Yeah.
Any model with the Legionnaires starters Death Guard special rule may choose to exchange a hand flamer for an Alchem pistol, a flamer for an Alchem flamer, a heavy flamer for a heavy Alchem flamer, including inbuilt heavy flamers as part of a Contemptor Dreadnought's Gravis Power Fist or Chain Fist. Or a Flamestorm cannon for an Alchem cannon at no additional cost. A model of the Legionnaires starters Death Guard and equipped with a combi weapon may select an Alchem combi flamer as the secondary weapon of their combi weapon. It is counted as a minor combi weapon. Now, I don't use combi weapons. Remind me, that just means you can use it every turn, basically, doesn't it?
For a
The
major combi
minors.
weapon, yes. A minor combi weapon once.
Is it? I thought it was the other way. I thought it was minor, major, you can use once, but
Yes.
minors every turn. Is it?
No. No?
Should we stop there for a second? I just
Oh,
want to.
again.
Right, yeah, apologies about that. I was getting myself confused. I literally never use combi weapons. But yeah, minor combi weapons you basically just keep using. So
Yeah.
I think it was first edition. They used to be one use only.
Yeah, yeah. Why they changed, I have no idea. But it did give me a break and to make a quadruple espresso. So
So the
these are
Alchem,
really good. Right, back to Alchem weapons.
yeah, so basically they're all pretty much what they are normal flamer version, but they all get Fleshbane, which is fucking brilliant. So an Alchem
And they get hot.
pistol is template strength 3, pistol 1, Fleshbane gets hot. So
You
yeah,
kind of
it
don't really
does
have to
get
worry
hot
about the strength. This is the thing because they're all fleshbane.
because they're all Fleshbane,
Because it's
yeah.
all kind of actually
So
they're kind of inconsequential about the strength to a large extent, apart from maybe the Alchem cannon and
Cannon
like Solar
heavy
Auxilia, for
flamer,
instance.
you could glance a rhino with a heavy flamer, I suppose.
Mm, yeah, but
Um
really, like you're not taking it for that, are you? So,
No, 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 no. So yeah, Fleshbane is basically you always wound on a 2 plus. So all of a sudden, those Alchem pistols are really,
mm,
really, really good.
yeah.
You never see hand flame, or like rarely, rarely ever see hand flamers.
Well, bear in mind as well. So, like the Alchem pistol is a template weapon, but it's also a pistol weapon. So obviously, you can, in theory, have two and fire them both.
Oh, yes. Ah, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, really, really good. Yeah, really
and they're
good.
available to everyone. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's a free upgrade. So you
yeah.
might as well.
There's,
Yeah, you're taking it gets hot, but bollocks to it.
I mean, the worst one is AP4 on the Alchem Cannon. So you're never unless you roll like me.
Yeah, I,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I,
yeah. That's fair. We'll
I
come
think
across it.
the 2 plus to wound outweighs the gets hot.
Oh,
I would
100%.
take that gets hot
I
risk.
mean, just a normal like support squad, flamer support squad with Alchem
Yeah,
flamers is actually quite scary in
yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah. Fucking hell, yeah,
Especially,
yeah.
tell you
Really
what,
good.
if you play a lot of Iron Hands, for instance, and you play Death Guard, here you go. Here's a way of getting around that because you're just, you can go
Yeah,
and flame a unit of
yeah.
Immortals or what
Don't
have you, and you're winning on twos.
don't give a fuck about your -1 strength because
No,
his
you don't need to make them roll
flashbang.
dice.
Um, yeah, yeah. Really good. Really, really good.
Hey Lee, I heard that you like rolled ankles. You're really big into this, the reaping and having people roll their ankles. Would you like to hear about toxin bombs?
I would love to hear about toxin bombs.
Okay, so any model with the character subtype, and Legiones Death Guard special rule, and traitor allegiance, importantly, may take toxin bombs for 10 points. When an enemy unit declares a charge targeting a unit that includes one or more models with toxin bombs, so you can just give it to a unit sergeant, roll a d6 for each model in that unit that has declared a charge. For each roll of a 1, model in that unit has declared a charge chosen by that unit's controlling player suffers a wound. No armor saves, cover saves, or damage mitigation rolls may be made against this wound, but invulnerable saves may still be made.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
That's
once you've waded through all of that dangerous terrain, you've then got to take a dangerous terrain check to charge them.
that is fucking hell. I mean, for 10 points, if you even if you just stick it on attack squad,
Attack squad
you get
sergeant,
charged by attack
100%.
squad, that dude's gonna lose two models on
Yeah,
average, say,
yep. Two ankle
like
rolls. Oh,
just,
no, tripped
just
over, died.
that's so good. And yeah, oh, you've got a apothecary in there. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get him off.
Don't worry about
Like,
it, mate.
oh
Do
God.
not
Yeah.
worry about it.
Oh, why the fuck didn't I do Death Guard? You know what? It was one. I think because I'd done them in first edition, I just
Yeah,
didn't really look at them in second edition. But
that's
holy
fair.
shit.
That's fair. They're so good though.
Right.
Wonderful boys. Power
Power
size.
size.
Yeah.
Any model with both the character subtype and the Legion as a status, Death Guard special rule may exchange a power weapon for a power scythe for no additional cost.
That's really important to note as well. It's like there's no points.
It's
Just switch
just
straight
just
out.
have it. The weapon listed here is counted as a power weapon. Cool. So power safe, range nothing, strength +2, AP 3, melee, rending 6+, two-handed, reaping blow 1. And I'm trying to remember what reaping blow is. Is it if
Reaping
you're
blow
base
is
space
if you are
contact?
no, if you are oh yeah, it's yeah, if you're outnumbered by your enemy, you get an additional attack.
Okay, so it counteracts the
Yeah.
two-handed basically. You just have to make sure you push all your models in. Is it outnumbered?
No, it's nice
I
base. It's
no,
base contact more than one
I
model.
thought it was you had to be base space contact. Yeah,
Yeah,
more than one model.
yeah,
Yeah.
you are right. I haven't
Um,
my effects of my four espressos have not yet
I
taken
mean, this is essentially a power mace um with
rending
rending,
6 up.
which is just fucking great.
Yeah.
And then if you throw in, say, rad grenades,
Mm-hmm.
um, these
Yep.
become fucking amazing
Yeah.
on
Ultimate colors of like regular line infantry. Really,
on
really good on someone like a veteran sergeant, as in a
yeah,
veteran squad
yeah, yeah,
sergeant with who's going to have rad grenades because you're going to give them rad grenades, and then all of a sudden, yeah, he's got 4 attacks. His weapon skill 5. Yeah, for culling like regular attack marines, like line infantry, is really, really
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Don't rely on that 6 up rending though. That is my advice to you because it
Yeah,
never
if you're
comes
putting
off
it
and
on
you
one character, yeah, you've 3 or 4 tax tops. You
yeah,
chances are you're not.
yeah.
I like these. I don't hate them. Um,
I think they're really good.
yeah,
I
they're
genuinely do
cool.
think they're really, really good. I think that they're a free exchange for a power weapon. I think makes them a lot better than the majority. I think often when you look at some of the other Legion like power weapon variants, you're having to pay a points premium for them. When you look at things
Yeah,
like Headsman's Axe for Night Lords or um like some of the Perdition weapons, for instance, I think that
and
you're paying like you're not paying like a tax, but you're paying a premium for them. Whereas this,
yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
flat out like it's another option.
And if you're doing it for like a tac squad sergeant, it
Mm,
can become quite expensive. If you're paying for that power weapon upgrade
yeah.
and then paying for the Legion weapon upgrade, it can
Mm,
start getting a bit silly. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I like it. Plus, they just look fucking cool, don't they?
Yeah, they do look really, really cool as well. Yeah. You want me to go wrong?
Um,
Really cool.
right, straight into it.
The big
The
dog,
uh,
the big
the big dog
cheese.
himself.
I genuinely, I echo what you say earlier. One of the most tragic
Yeah,
characters in the Heresy. He just feels like he's constantly being let down by people.
literally, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So Mortarion, the
I'm
Pale
also going to
King.
say it as well, and I think this is going to be controversial. I'd like to hear people's opinions in the comments, but I don't think this miniature has aged particularly well. I don't think he's that good.
Bold, bold. I
Hmm.
am immediately going to disagree with you and say
Fine,
that I
that's
actually
fine.
really like it.
This is the healthy debate that we want to instigate here.
Yeah, I like him. But I do see where you're coming from. Yeah,
Hmm.
it would. I will be interested to see because we have a 40k demon model, which
Yeah.
I am personally not a huge fan of.
See, I quite like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I do think it's good. I don't think this is. I don't think Mortarion is bad, by the way. I
Yeah.
think that he suffers with
Just
that.
aged.
He's aged and he's
Yeah. I
small.
get
He's a
that.
small boy for a Primarch now as well.
Right. Okay.
Had a little look and a play around with making mine out of the lion because he's in like a similar pose,
Okay. Yeah.
similar
The
armor,
armor's
but the
similar.
lion's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
half an inch taller.
Okay.
A little bit of
Interesting.
cutting and a little bit of chopping. Maybe we can get there.
Uh, anyways, shall
Hmm.
we talk about his rules?
Yes.
425 points. He is movement 7, weapon skills 7, ballistic skills 6, strength 7, toughness 7, wound 7, initiative 5, attack 6, leadership 10, 2 plus save.
Yeah.
Um, he has the Primarch unique unit type. His war gear is the Barbaran Plate, Silence, the Lantern, 7 Phosphex bombs, just fucking throwing Phosphex bombs everywhere,
Yeah. I'm
and
pretty sure I can
frag
only
grenade.
throw one a turn though. So
That's gonna say like, I guess if you there's some that you can get to turn 6 and then roll for
yeah.
maybe if you're throwing Phosphex bombs from turn 1, you might get through.
Yeah.
Legionnaires as starters, Death Guard, Master of the Legion, bulky 6. It will not die 4 plus,
It's
fear
bulky
2.
six.
Yeah, he's a big, well, he's not a big boy, but apparently
No.
he is a big boy. It's his backpack that
So
takes
it's
up
on
all the
pipes.
room.
It's his bagpipes
Yeah,
that he's got
yeah.
cart around with him and his big old scythe. Take up a lot of room.
He is Adamantium Will 3 plus, Hatred Psychers. Fucking hate Psychers.
Mm.
Shadow, for good reason, to be fair. Shadow of the Reaper, preternatural resilient, traitor, and his warlord is Sire of the Death Guard. Um, right, where do we start? Preternatural resilience.
Yeah,
So
because there's a
this has
box
a
from
fact.
the fact. Yeah.
So the fact is any hit allocated to Mortarion with the Poisoned X, Rending X, or Fleshbane special rules only affect Mortarion on a D6 roll of a 6 instead of their usual effect. While Mortarion has joined a unit, this special rule has no effect. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it's only if he's soloing it.
Yeah, if
Jason's
he's just
reloading it.
running around, which, to be honest, is kind of an option.
Yeah, so I think there's a few things to note about Mortarion's rules overall. He's quite expensive. 425
Yeah,
is one of the more expensive. He's only initiative 5, which is
yeah,
an
yeah,
interesting one.
yeah,
Strength 7, toughness 7, and 7 wounds is nice though. And obviously very in keeping with, I think the Death Guard are one of the few legions where they've kept to the chaotic numerical values. There's lots of sevens involved in the Death
yeah,
Guard, whereas you
yeah,
don't see a lot of eights in the World Eaters, for instance, or sixes
yeah.
in the Thousand Sons. So I think it's quite nice they've kept that as a running theme. But he doesn't. I don't think initially from looking at like the stat line and the cost that he stands out as being like particularly great.
Yep.
But I think he is quite good.
Yeah. Um, well, shall we get into what
Yep.
should we do next? Shall we do his warlord trait? Do you want to go for his?
Yeah, so Sire of the Death Guard. So all friendly units composed entirely models with I think again, I want to caveat this by saying I think Rob and I talked about this early on. We talked about Primarchs, is that you tend to see Primarchs being like either mega murderers, like as in like they're just stat line and weapon skill or war gear, sorry, means that they are just these absolute pro murderers that can go around
Yeah.
soloing huge
Yeah.
units and basically taking the heads off other Primarchs, or they tend to be great force multipliers where they are where you take them to make the rest of the army better, not
Better,
necessarily to
yeah.
have that
Yeah.
one like Death Star built around them or kind of one, you know, fucking King Dick of fuck mountain character. Um, and then you've got occasional ones like Perturabo, who's just terrible, just not very good at anything. And I think Mortarion feels somewhat in the kind of middle, one of the kind of outliers where he's sort of
Okay.
pretty good on his own and pretty good as a force multiplier. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, sorry, the Death Guard. All units composed entirely models with the Death Guard special rule in the same line as Mortarion, including Mortarion himself, ignore all penalties to their leadership caused by the Fear and Shell Shock special rules. And when locked in combat, suffers no penalty to the leadership characteristics due to casualties suffered during an assault. That's really good. So even if
Yeah,
you lose an
that's
assault
really
by
good.
8, you're still taking
Yeah,
it
you
on your
don't
full
give a
leadership.
fuck.
Just
Yeah.
essentially, you're pseudo stubborn.
Yeah, that's really good.
Really,
Yeah.
really, the whole army is stubborn, basically.
Yeah.
In the regards of assaults, anyway.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
addition, an army with Mortarion as a warlord may make an additional reaction in the opposing player's assault phase. So
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I like that.
one of the better warlord traits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
So he has the Barbaran plate, which provides a 2+ armor save and a 2+ in vulnerable
a four
save.
plus invulnerable save league.
Sorry,
Four
fucking
plus.
hell, I'm losing my mind. Four
Jesus
plus in
Christ.
vulnerable save. Two. People just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What?
2+ armor save, 4+ invulnerable save. Um, and then Shadow of the Reaper. So long as Mortarion is not embarked on any model in reserves, locked in combat, or part of a unit with the retinue or Death Shroud retinue special rules in the player's shooting phase, in lieu of making a shooting attack, Mortarion may be redeployed by his controlling player. This counts as an alternative form of movement and cancels the benefits of the Legionnaires' status Death Guard special rule when used. Okay. If this option is used when Mortarion is removed from the battlefield, leaving any unit that he was part of, the controlling player must then redeploy Mortarion to any point on the battlefield that is within 10 inches of his original position, as long as there is space for his model and the chosen position is not within 3 inches of an enemy model. He may not be placed within impassable terrain or inside a vehicle or building. This is not counted as a move as such, and the intervening terrain does not affect him in any way. Mortarion may charge normally in a turn that he is redeployed in this way, but counts as making a disordered charge if doing so. Interesting. Interesting. Yes.
So boil that down. You can drive him forward. You can get out of his Spartan. You can then move out of his Spartan, and then rather than shooting, he can wall walk
Just
10 inches to another point and then charge.
um I feel where this is totally insane is if
Hmm.
you're running him in Zone Mortalis, because
Oh,
then you just fucking zip
again,
through walls.
it's pretend. Do you remember Morrigal Dreadnoughts when they would just appear next to you
Yes,
and you were like,
yeah.
holy shit.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, except this is a Primarch doing that.
Um, yeah, I think yeah, so I'm just uh I did read a bit of this that I thought was quite pertinent. Like basically you don't have to leave the unit in the movement phase. This
Correct.
move
Yeah.
makes him leave the unit, which I think is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good,
Which means
really
that,
good.
like I said, you can put him into a transport
Yeah,
with a load of moves. I mean, you could put him in there as leading attack squad, for instance, as just a blades and
yeah.
wounds from if
Just
needs be. Then he could
move
pop out of that
forward.
attack squad and then scoot
Yeah,
through a wall. And then go off and charge
yes,
something else. And yeah, he counts a disorder charge, but he's got 6 attacks base plus. And when we look at the weapons as well, in fact, we'll look at the weapons now. So
yeah,
silence grants him an additional +1 strength to make him strength 8, and it's AP2. It's melee, instant death. I mean, it's instant death. Yeah, he's strength
yeah.
8, but like, I mean, even against things like
Well,
Myrmidons,
anything.
Castellax,
Yeah.
Dreadnoughts, for instance.
Yeah,
Sunder, two-handed, reaping blow 2. So, for the majority of times, he's going to have 8 attacks on the charge, even if it's disordered, 9
yeah,
if it's not. So,
yeah.
yeah, he's also got, I think when we look at his rule set again, he's got some other interesting rules. So he's got 2 up armor save and a 4 up invulnerable save, and it will not die 4 up.
Yes,
He's got
yeah.
fear 2 as well. So, like again, paired with something like a Legion Herald in or a chaplain in a command squad. His Adamantine Wheel 3 up as well, so he's really, really good at resisting psychic powers. I think he is a really, really, um, really good character. He's got the
Yeah,
lantern, which is I think, quite iconic as far as Primarch ranged weapons go.
yeah, yeah,
Um, in that it's range 18, strength 8, AP2, assault 1 with Sunder, so pretty nice. But I think for the majority of the time, you're going to be either using his Shadow the Reaper ability or throwing Phosphex bombs.
yeah, yeah. But it is nice. That's, take
Yeah,
a yeah.
yeah,
You can have a pop at a contemptor before you
yeah.
charge in, or if you haven't
He's
done
really
something
good,
else.
but I don't think he's great against other Primarchs. I think he's great against
Yeah,
literally everything else, but I don't think he's great against other Primarchs necessarily.
yeah. But yeah, fucking
Apart from
hell.
Perturabo, he'll kill Perturabo and Alfarius.
But he's no slouch in combat
He's
either, though. You know
no,
what
he's
I mean?
no slouch in
He's
combat.
he's and it will not die 4+. You will be getting wounds back as long as he's
Yeah, you
not
will, yeah.
dead, obviously.
Yeah, and he's got
Um,
7 wounds to start off with as well, so he's
yeah,
doing pretty real. I think it's the initiative 5 that actually kind of lets him down a little tiny bit, I think.
yeah, yeah.
But he's swinging a massive scythe around, so he's not going to be the most nimble, is he?
No. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's great, but I think he's great in a non-traditional sense.
Yeah. I mean the no penalty to leadership characteristic in your soul is just
Yeah,
fucking brilliant. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. There you go. There's Morty.
He's a good lad. Top
Yeah.
lad.
Um, so up
Speaking
next
of models that haven't aged well,
no, yeah. So it's funny, isn't it? Because I love the look of these models, but they are super duper tiny models now,
I
aren't
also
they?
think they're a
They
bit
are.
crap, actually,
Do
if
you?
I'm being,
I see. I
yeah,
like
I
them. I like
do.
them. I
Yeah. See, I made mine out of Tortuga Bay
yes, I
bodies
know. I
with,
sold them to
yeah, with the original
you.
arms from the Death Shroud kit. I had a
Yeah,
load
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
like 1905, whatever they came out. So,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
bodies are like, I mean, genuinely, the torso and legs together are about the same size as modern Mark 6 or Mark 3 tank marine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're tiny, tiny little dudes.
Yeah,
But
but
are their rules tiny?
no, their rules are insane.
So, Death Shroud Terminator Squad is 140 points.
And
And for
how many guys
140
does that get
points,
you,
you
Lee?
get two guys. Two. Two. What do you get for two for 140 points? Movement 7, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds each, initiative 4, attacks 3, leadership 9, and a 2+ save. They have Alchem pistols,
Yes,
power
Lee, they've got an
scythes.
Alchem pistol,
Oh,
correct.
fuck yes.
Our new favorite weapon.
They have a power scythe and they are equipped with Tartarus Terminator armor. They have the Death Guard special rule, Relentless, Death Shroud Retinue, Bulky 2, Battle Hardened 1. They are stubborn and they are chosen warriors. Um, they can take a Legion Land Raider Proteus as a dedicated transport if there are less than 5. You can have up to 8 Death Shroud at 70 points per model, and they can be equipped with melter bombs and grenade harnesses. Melter bombs 5 points each. I think this is one of the few Terminator squads that you can actually take melter bombs, if not
Yeah.
one of the only. And you can take each one can take a grenade harness. I don't know why
Why
but
you would want
yeah,
to do that, but
you probably want
yeah,
at least one
you do. I think you
grenade
do want a
harness
grenade harness. Yeah,
for 10 points each.
yeah. But you only also have
Um,
to give one guy melter bombs, for instance, as well. Like, you can give other guys
yeah,
bombs
true.
if you wanted
Yeah,
to. So
yeah. And then Death Shroud Retinue, any unit of a Master of Legion and Death Guard special rules can take this unit as a retinue squadron, essentially, isn't it? I don't think there's
yeah, it's the
any
same
way.
retinue rules. So essentially, they move out of the elites. They don't take up a force org slot, and you can switch out their power scythe for a
Five.
Legion standard and a power weapon for 15 points,
Interesting.
which I do. So in my like 2,500 point list or 3K list, I've got 3 Death Shroud.
Right.
Um, I think they are a big point sink, but they are really, really tough. They're so survivable
Yeah, battle
being battle
hardened is
hardened
great.
with 3 wounds as well.
Yeah,
So 3 guys is nine wounds. So for instance, like it's going to take 9 las cannon shots, for instance, to
yeah.
take them down, assuming that they all get through and you fail all your saves. But even then, you can just pop your advanced reaction and because you get a feel no pain against it, and away you go. Um, Um, and the 3 attacks based on the profile is really, really nice. So three guys charging, for instance, is like 12 attacks at weapon
Yeah.
skill 5 with their scythes. So they tend to get an extra attack because they'll normally have reaping blow as well. So like, 3 guys
Right.
should
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah,
getting
yeah.
best part of 15 attacks.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Really, really good for absolutely murdering through line infantry. They're a, a bit of a letdown against other Legion Terminators because they just haven't got
I
um
was gonna say is that I feel like this is the sort of unit you don't want to throw into your opponent's elite Legion Terminators.
It's an interesting one because with in the reap in the reaping you can give them rad grenades. So
Okay,
in
okay, yeah, yeah,
theory,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have got a fair number of attacks.
So you're fishing for sixes, but you're
Well,
probably
you
gonna
are
get a
fishing for
few.
sixes, but anything that goes through, the benefits are is that they're striking at initiative with their scythes, whereas you find most Legion Terminators will have like Thunder Hammers
Yeah,
or Power
yeah,
Fists,
yeah, yeah,
Chain
yeah,
Fists, etc. So they
yeah,
tend to be going
yeah.
last. These guys are able to double your opponent out with just sheer weight of dice,
Yeah.
but also um, they're not typically going to be instant killed on the way back because they're battle hardened.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I've always heard about Death Shroud in this edition is that they are just fucking hard to remove. They are
Yeah,
just so
really, really, really
survivable.
tough. Yeah.
Um, cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think they are really, really spendy. But they are worth it. I mean, I probably wouldn't have 10.
No,
Like, I
no.
think that's a
They
bit
are
tall.
fucking iconic as well, though, aren't they?
They
They
are.
are.
You
They
can
are.
have 7. That's fine. 7 is
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
because that was always the number that Mortarion had, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you shouldn't be allowed to take 10. But I take 3 with a banner, and then my banner man gets a power maul as and his banner. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So you're still dishing out some
yeah.
instant death
The
goodness.
weird thing is though, and this is what I don't quite understand, is that you have to exchange your power side for a Legion standard and power weapon for 15 points, but then you could in theory exchange that power weapon back for a Legion for a power side.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you literally That's fucking dumb.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um
One Death Shroud Terminator and a Death Shroud Terminator squad selected as a retinue may
yeah.
exchange their power scythe for a Legion Standard and power scythe for
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. No,
Take
I
them
really like these.
take them, but my advice is convert them because they like if you buy these, you will open the box and you'll be like,
Where the
oh
fuck are they?
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
realize I was playing Legion Imperialis.
yeah, they are. I don't think these have aged particularly well, unfortunately.
No, no, I do agree with that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cool. Death
Cool.
Shroud. So Grave
I think
Warden
these have aged
Terminator
really well, though. I
squads.
think these
Yeah,
are
they look cool
standout.
as fuck, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are really.
So, do you want to go through these, mate?
Oh, mate, I'd love to. So I've only played with my Grave Wardens once or twice, both times in ZM, where they have done some work, but
Okay.
yet to have them on a big battlefield. So they're 250 points for 5. Their movement 6 because they're in Cataphractii. Their weapon skill and ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4 with 2 wounds. So they're like normal like Legion Terminator rules. Initiative 4 with 2 attacks. The Chem Master, who is your head
Sergeant.
honcho,
Yeah.
yeah, gets an additional attack. Um, they are heavy infantry, and the Chem Master is obviously a character, so I mean you can give him things like toxin bombs, rad grenades, yada yada yada. So they come with an assault grenade launcher and a power fist and a death cloud projector and cataphractii terminator armor. And their special rules are relentless, bulky 2, shrouded in death, firing protocols 2, which is really interesting to see. Shrouded 6 up and also stubborn. So 250 points for 5. Actually, I think they're pretty good value when you look at them.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind what a normal like just standard Legion, not an elite level, but standard Legion Terminator unit
Yeah.
costs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So pretty happy with that. So the assault grenade launcher has two profiles, and every time you fire, you pick one of the two profiles to utilize. So you either fire crack grenades, which are range 18, strength 6, AP4, assault 2, not to be sniffed at,
No.
or the more often utilized toxin, which are range 18, strength 1, AP5, but they are assault 4, poisoned 3 up, and they ignore cover.
Ooh,
Yeah. So five guys is
that's a lot of
getting
shots. Yeah.
20 shots, yeah, threes and threes, no cover saves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they can also then fire their Death Cloud projector as well, which is a template weapon, which is strength 1 AP4, which is really nice to know. Like it's not AP5 like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
normal like flamer. But it is also poison 3 up as well.
Interesting.
So I'm going to tell you that charging this unit
Pow, pow,
leads
pow.
to, well, you've got to bear in mind that you're going to have, like, if you charge five of these guys, you're going to have five walls of death. You're going to have 20 shots on the toxin weapons, and then they're going to have toxin bombs because you're not going to not give them toxin
Oh
bombs. And
shit.
so
Yeah.
you've
Of
then got to
course. Yeah.
take all your
Yeah.
rolling ankle tests against them as well.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Really, 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 really good. So we've also got Shrouded in Death. So when an enemy unit successfully charges a unit that includes one or more mods of this special rule, the charge is always considered to be disordered. So
Yeah.
always.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
even if you get through all of that wave of stuff,
Then
yeah,
you're not getting your extra
you're not getting
attacks.
charge bonuses anyway. See,
Yeah.
I think these guys paired with like a Legion Herald as like an objective holder could be
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really, really tough to dispose of.
I mean, I guess my only first thought is they're heavy, so they're not running,
No,
and their ranges are on the shorter side,
yeah, oh,
18-inch
absolutely,
templates. So yeah, I agree with you. Like,
yeah.
just shove them straight down the middle, hold an objective with a
Yeah,
herald,
in a
and
Land
then just
Raider.
sit there,
Yeah,
um, just
yeah.
being dickheads, burning things and shooting things with toxin.
I think they're really cool.
Yeah, I like
And
them.
also in Creep and Death, they can be taken as troops as well. Worth bearing in mind.
Okay, I think it's worth mentioning as well, yeah, that they are actually a heavy sports slot.
Yeah, they are. They do sit in heavy supports, but much
Yeah,
like Siege Tyrants,
siege
they
tyrants. Yeah.
do occupy that often lusted over heavy support slot. But worth bearing in mind that if you are, if you're talking about the reaping, then your heavy support squads are going to be sat in the troop slot, so that tends
Yeah,
to
well,
free
that's
up
the
a bit
thing,
of
isn't
stuff
it?
there.
This is, yeah,
Yeah, and if you're taking Creeping Death, these guys move into the troop slot. So actually,
there's
there's
ways
ways of
around. I
mitigating
think
that.
if this was like your heavy sports slot and there was no other way, you probably would look at these last. I just think there's other stuff in the heavy sports slot. But given the fact that you can put stuff that you probably want to take from your heavy sports slot in other choices,
Yep.
like it really does open these up.
Yeah, I think
Um,
they are wicked. So you can
yeah.
take five additional Grave Wardens at 45 points a model. You can exchange, any model can exchange their Power Fist for a Chain Fist for 5 points. I
Okay.
probably wouldn't bother.
No, I mean one or two isn't terrible. Just if the tank does get close to you, but for
Yeah,
5 points. But yeah, no, it's not why they're there, is it?
no, precisely. And for every five models in the unit, one Grave Warden may exchange his Assault Grenade Launcher for a Heavy Alchem Flamer for 5 points.
Okay.
I I maybe be tempted, but at the same time, it is quite. I mean, they do excel, I think, at obviously like close quarter shooting. So you might
Yeah.
consider it, but I
Feel
I've
like
not
if
done it
I'm
yet.
doing toxin grenades, I want to be throwing as many dice as possible.
Yeah.
Um,
But then
but
again,
yeah,
obviously,
it's
no, if
not
you can
terrible.
pop a template down over six or seven guys,
Yeah.
then
Wounding on
it's worth bearing in
twos.
mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
winning on
Yeah.
twos, exactly. So it's definitely something to consider because you do want to get relatively close to be able to make use of your Death Cloud projectors as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The Chem Master may exchange his assault grenade launcher for a combi bolter if you're an absolute maniac. Um, a Magna combi weapon for 10 points or a minor combi weapon for five. I probably wouldn't do either. Uh,
No,
and he can take a power scythe instead of his power fist for free. Again, I probably wouldn't bother, but
I don't hate that from a kind of just a looking like a Death Guard dude.
Yeah,
But I'd
having something
probably,
striking initiative is not necessarily a bad thing, but they're pretty survivable.
but I
So
don't think a power. I feel like power size is something you want slashing en masse, a bit like
yeah,
the Grave Wardens, rather than just one dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, yeah, cool,
yeah, and you can take a grenade harness for 10 points as well if so were so inclined.
nice. And you said you've used these,
Used it
and
a couple of times,
they
but only in ZM when they were an
okay.
absolute mother bastard.
I
Because again, they just excel at like close quarters shooting.
Yeah, yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like you need. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I would be very tempted to put them in a Land Raider to just get them up the
Yeah,
board.
I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is the thing
yeah,
as well, like because the Death Shroud are pretty maneuverable because they're in Tartarus, because they've got that extra level of movement. Now again, if
yeah.
you're running, say, the Reaping, they can't
Then you can't
run, so it's
run.
worth
Yeah,
bearing that in mind. Um, but again, it's a bit of a toughie, really. I think the Death Guard can get quite expensive quite quickly. Like a lot of
yeah,
their elite
yeah.
units are
Agreed.
good and
Yeah,
worth taking, but three Death Shroud with a banner plus a character in there and a Land Raider, you're getting close to like
yeah,
600 points.
yeah, 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 yeah. True.
Five of these guys in a Land Raider, you're looking at another 500 points. That's 1100 points before you've put any troops on the board,
For
really, to
two
speak of.
units. Yeah,
So
yeah. No,
it's
true.
just, I think, just have an experiment
Mm.
and play around. But yeah, I think these guys with their ability to just, I think they're so survivable, and you don't really want to be shooting them because they'll just shoot you back, and you
Yeah,
don't really want to be
yeah,
charging them because they'll just shoot you back. But they're pretty good at shooting, and because they're in cataphractic, they're pretty survivable. And giving them
yeah,
some way of being able to um, score objectives, I think these guys make a good candidate for a really tough objective holder. In the same way that
yeah.
I also think when we talk about Iron Warriors, I also think that Siege Tyrants with a character make like one of the best deck chair units in the game.
Yes, I agree entirely. Whereas with the Siege Tyrants, I would look at keeping them backfield
Yeah,
because they have the range. Whereas these, I would probably be looking to push them up midfield,
I
hold an
agree.
objective.
Yeah,
But yeah, cool. Yeah, plus like the models are just cool as fuck,
they are
aren't they?
really, really good. And
Great.
again, they're a sensible size. They don't look completely
Yeah,
out like
tiny.
yeah.
We have an exemplary battle unit. This is an elite slot. The Mortis Poisonous Squad. So this is 115 points for 5 guys. Standard Marine stat lines. So movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength and toughness 4, 1 wound each, initiative 4. Uh, 1 attack each. The Poison Master, which is basically the Sergeant, 2 attacks each. Leadership 7 and 8 respectively, and a 3+ save. They are infantry heavy. Like I said, you get 5 guys. Wargear is bolter, bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades, rad grenades, and power armor. They have the Death Guard special rule, stubborn, counter attack 1, and bitter duty.
So these guys are destroyers with flamers, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice take.
They're basically attack squad destroyer, aren't they?
Yeah,
Kind of like which you can
support squad
then have.
destroyer, basically. Yeah,
Yeah. So they can take a Rhino. Interestingly, they can take a Legion Termite assault drill,
yeah. Worth
or you
bearing in mind
can.
though that if they're being run in, say, the Reaping, they can't use
Oh, you
training
can't.
assault.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, and they can take a Land Raider, which I probably would not be doing. But all that as a dedicated transport, which is interesting. You can take up to 10 additional Mortis Poisonous for 15 points each. Any model in the squad can take a chainsword for 5 points each. They can have bayonets or chain bayonets for 1 or 2 points each. Or you can upgrade their bolters for Alchem Flamers for fucking free. Boom. Wounding 2+. Yes, thank you.
Yep,
I feel like that is what this unit is designed to do. It's
yep,
basically, yeah, it's an elite support squad, isn't it, essentially?
yep.
And then you can take Vexilla, Nuncio Vox, or Augury Scanner as per normal. 1 in every 5 can take a heavy Alchem Flamer for 20 points each. That's don't know if I'd bother, like
I
20
don't
points is a
know if I
lot.
would either, to be honest with you. I think 20 points is a lot
It's a
for
lot, isn't it?
what
Yeah.
you get, and you're getting slightly reduced AP. But if you're fighting basically anything that isn't
I mean, if you're coming up
militia,
against, Mechanicum or something, then yeah, Thalax, you're gonna fucking go through the.
yeah,
Are they AP4? I think the heavy were
oh
AP4, weren't they?
yeah.
Or were they AP5?
No, AP5. I think
Four.
it's only the heavy Alchem
Oh,
cannon.
is it? Oh, yeah. No, I
Yeah,
would. I just, yeah,
I wouldn't bother.
I wouldn't bother.
No.
No. Um, and then the Poison Master can take a power weapon for 10 points or a power scythe for 15 points.
Yeah.
But
Again, I
you
probably
can.
wouldn't bother.
Was I? Oh, I'm confused.
What are you confused by, Lee?
Power scythes.
Yep.
They're a free upgrade, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
So you would just take the power weapon for 10 points and then upgrade for free.
Correct. Yep. Yep. I know. Yep.
Okay. All right. Anyways, moving along. Uh, good, good. Okay, well done. And the Poison Master can take artificial armor for 10 points. He can take a single Phosphex bomb for 10 points or a melter bomb for 5 points. Um, yeah, I I like these, but I would probably just take a support squad if I'm totally honest.
I think I would too. I think I would just take a support squad with with the Alchem Flamer upgrade.
I mean, rad grenades is nice, but you're losing an elite slot. Do you want to lose an elite
You can
slot?
give like your support squad sergeant rad grenades in the reaping anyway. So
Yes, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they don't take
Yeah.
up an elite squad, and you're not really going to take, I don't think, any of the other things that. Yeah, counter attack is good. Yeah, great,
Yeah,
but at
yeah,
the
yeah.
same time, like, who's charging these guys, and what does it matter?
I mean, you've got to get through a whole load of wall of fucking
Yeah.
wall of death to charge these guys.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to. I just don't. I just don't see them. To be honest, with you. I like
No,
them. I like
I
that they
don't hate it,
exist.
but I feel like this is more of a bluff choice than
Yeah,
yeah, I would probably just take a support squad and give them all Alchem Flamers.
I would
Um,
too.
but
Yes.
it's interesting. I like it. I don't hate it.
No.
And I like the fact that they can take termites as a dedicated transport. That is
Yeah.
actually quite interesting because I
Yeah.
feel like a Flamer squad, Alchem Flamers popping up is actually,
Yeah.
on an
I think.
objective or something is gonna it's
Yeah.
gonna hurt.
I think it's one of the ways where one of the reasons you might actually take him is to get access to that termite. I think other than that, I just don't think
Yeah.
he'll bother,
No, agreed.
which is
Cool.
a shame.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then we have the Legion Inducti.
Right.
So let me have a look. Unit subtype. All models and unit modified by the Death Guard Legion Inducti template. Gain the Inducti unit subtype. Wargear. For every 5 models in the unit modified by the Death Guard Legion Inducti template, one legionary may exchange his bolter for an Alchem Flamer for 5 points. Um, Special rules. All models in a unit modified by the Death Guard Legion Inducti template replace the Heart of the Legion special rule with the Barbaran Resilient special rule. So, the Barbaran Resilient special rule. When a model with this special rule suffers an unsaved wound, it can make a special Barbaran Resilience roll to avoid suffering a wound. Barbaran Resilience rolls may not be made against wounds that have the instant death special rule. So, roll a d6 each time an unsaved wound is suffered. If a unit with this special rule includes 10 or more models at the start of a given phase, this rule has no effect. If a unit with this special rule includes less than 10 models at the start of a given phase, then on a roll of a 6 plus, the unsaved wound is discounted. If a unit with this special rule includes less than 5 models at the start of a given phase, then on a roll of 5 plus, the unsaved wound is discounted. Treat discounted wounds as having been saved. On any other result, the wound is taken as normal. This is a damage mitigation roll. Any model may only make a single damage mitigation roll of any type for any given wound. Okay. Interesting. Um, I think I'd rather have Heart of the Legion if I'm
I think I'd rather
totally
have half the Legion too,
honest.
and
unless I'm missing something. And the trouble is, it gets better the shitter the unit gets.
Yeah, I think they're okay. I don't think they're the
Yeah,
worst of the Inducti by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think they are really worth your consideration.
no, no, yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, no, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think if you could
Um,
give them all Alchem flamers in the way that you could with, say, the Dark Angels, but then give
yeah,
them
I
all
mean,
Volkite, then I think you might be like, okay, right, I can really see a place for this because they're essentially there'd be a support squad that becomes scoring.
yeah.
But I don't hate them. I just can't see myself ever bothering with them.
No, no. Oh, here we go. Here he is.
It's this guy, mate. I think
Oh,
one of the best special characters in the game.
oh, okay, interesting.
And I'll tell
Uh,
you for why. He's brilliant. So he is. I'm going to take you through Callus Typhon because I've used him a few times now. I think most Death Guard players who've played with special characters would have used him. And when they go to events where special characters aren't allowed, they'll feel very sad about the fact they can't take
I
Typhon.
can't use him.
And also he's a really cool, he's a really interesting character. He's essentially for
Yeah,
want of a better term, he's the architect of the entire Legion's fall to chaos.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
It's interesting, isn't it? It's a bit
yeah,
like Erebus. I want to hate him, but it's
yeah,
still kind of quite
he's
cool.
he's there by Mortarion side from the very beginning, right up
Yeah.
until up until now, basically. So yeah, they don't always see eye to eye, but he's an absolute he's definitely one of the bad good guys or good bad guys,
And
whichever way.
another one that I would say the model has lasted the test of time.
Oh yeah, still looks really, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really good. Yeah.
yeah, really, really nice. I made mine a touch taller. I think I'd like literally just put like a couple of little blobs of green stuff in like between the torso and the legs for him.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, but still really, really good. Like still an excellent model. And definitely one of those scenarios as well, where if you were looking at he features quite heavily at the end of the siege, and if you're making a late heresy
Yeah.
Nurgle army, he is Typhus by that point, so there's nothing to stop you taking the 40k model and doing something more interesting with that. Certainly
Yeah.
cutting the stupid flies and smoke off of it.
Yeah.
But
Cut all the silly shit off. Yeah.
yeah,
That's kind of what I would plan to
all the
do, to be honest.
nonsense. Okay, right, Typhon. So
Yes.
the first captain of the Death Guard, the left hand, and when you talk about first captains, I think he's one of the best first captains. The left hand of Mortarion and the master of the Terminus Est. He is movement 6, weapon skill 6. Already. Here we go. BS5, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, and a 2 plus save. His war gear comes with mine and Lee's favourite, the Alchem pistol, Lacrimé, a grenade harness, a death cloud projector, rad grenades, and cataphractic terminator armor. So he's got some absolute top tier war gear there. And for 200 points, I think we're already looking just there at pretty good value. But then he's also got an insane amount of special rules. So he is a heavy, not that it matters in Death Guard, character, unique, and psyker. So he's Marshal of the Legion, brilliant, independent character. He's relentless, stubborn, bulky 2. He has the Witchblood special rule, Shrouded in Death, Firing Protocols 2, Shrouded 6 up. He is a traitor, and his Warlord trait is Comes the Reaper. So his Warlord trait is when making attacks as part of a shooting attack or during the assault phase with any weapon that has the poisoned special rule, Callus Typhon and any unit with the Legion as Astartes Death Guard with at least one model within 6 inches of Callus Typhon, increase the value of the poisoned X special rule by 1, e.g. from 3 to 2, like the previously mentioned Grave Wardens, for instance. And and may re-roll fail to wound rolls for weapons with the Fleshbane special rule.
Oh, fuck. That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fucking good.
Really, really good.
Oh,
In
no.
addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction in the movement phase as long as Typhon has not been removed as a casualty. So less
Oh,
less good in the reaping, really, really, really good in creeping death. I think that he fits into
yeah.
creeping death so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remind me, in the Reaping, you're not allowed to make movement reactions,
You
are you?
can't move as part of a
You can't
movement.
move as part of the movement
Yeah.
reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. You can still
So,
intercept, for instance,
yeah,
but you
okay.
can't move as part of a movement reaction unless it's the advanced reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. So even then, that warlord trait is absolutely brilliant. So for instance, um, it's not units he's joined. You just got to have a model within a unit with a model within 6 inches of him. So
Yeah.
for instance, your
Yeah. Yeah.
Grave Wardens, your Mortis Poisoners, your support squads with Alchem Flamers, they're getting +1 from their poisoned rule and they're re-rolling their Flashbane.
That's so good. Two
I
to
know,
wound
right?
re-rolling. Like,
Yeah.
fucking hell. Yeah, that is uh insane.
Really, really, really wild.
That's
Okay.
really good. Yeah, I like it.
So I'm going to read Witch Blood and Witch Sense first because this leads into why I think he's so, so good.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah.
So Callous Typhon has the Witch Sense psychic power and the Toxic Cloud psychic weapon, and does not gain access to any other disciplines when included as part of an army that includes Mortarion, or if Mortarion is present in a battle as part of another friendly army, then Callous Typhon may not make use of his psychic powers or psychic weapons. So
Yeah.
if
Okay.
he's
He's
in
got to
Mortarion's
hide his
presence,
powers from
he has to
Daddy.
hide his powers exactly. So, Witch Sense psychic power. At the start of any assault phase, Callous Typhon's controlling player may choose to take a psychic check for him. Bear in mind he's leadership 10. If that check is passed, then Typhon's weapon skill characteristic is increased by 1
Oh,
and
hello.
has attacks characteristics is increased by D3 for the duration
Fucking
of any
hell.
assault phase. If the check is failed, then Typhon suffers perils of the war. Now, we move back over. So all of a sudden, in theory, let's for argument's sake say that he gets this off. So he becomes weapon skill 7. So instantly he is elevated to like Primarch level weapon skill.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. He then charges in. He's got 4 attacks on his profile. His weapon, Lacrimae, is +2 strength, AP2, two-handed, Reaping Blow 1, and Fleshbane. So he's going to be getting an additional attack realistically for Reaping Blow, an additional attack for charging. So that's 6 attacks. And then let's say we roll a 3 on our additional D3, or sorry, a 3 on a die, so give him 2 additional attacks. He's got
Yeah.
8 attacks on the charge currently at weapon skill 7. He's strength 6 with Lacrimae, but he's also reducing the toughness of your opponent's
Yes.
characteristic down by 1 because he's got rad grenades. So all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's doubling out anything that's toughness 4. And he's weapon skill 7, and he's got flashbane. So regardless, you're going to be basically hitting on 3s, winning on 2s against most things, and you're
He
getting
is a
nothing.
fucking beat stick, isn't he? Shit the
And he's
bed.
200 points.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's also got some really interesting little stuff, he's got shrouded 6 up. He's got the same shrouded in death rule that the Grave Wardens do. So when you charge him, it counts as being disordered. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Shit.
And also, even if he's being charged, his Witch Sense psychic power is at the start of any assault phase, not just the controlling player's assault phase. It's at any assault phase. Even if he's being charged,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
still getting an additional D3 attacks +1 weapon skill, assuming you pass the psychic test, plus Reaping Blow, plus your disorder charge.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's got a Death Cloud projector, which is great, as we know. He's got an Alchem pistol, and he's also got his Toxic Cloud psychic weapon, which is 24-inch range, strength 1, AP4, but assault 1, large blast, fleshbane, pinning, and psychic focus. And bearing in mind it's fleshbane, and he's also,
Yeah.
because of his warlord trait, he's re-rolling any failed
Rerolling
wounds with
flashbane.
fleshbane.
Yeah. Pinning. Oh yeah, that's great. Um,
Tell me, Lee, what is not to like about Typhon?
no, it's fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've been for his rules. I kept it as a little bit of a surprise, and
Okay,
I am a big, big fan.
how surprised are you?
Yeah, pretty fucking surprised to be honest with you. Um, yeah, yeah, he's a fucking beat stick, isn't he? But I mean, just the buffs alone,
Yeah,
just literally that warlord trait. If he just came with that warlord trait, I'd be like, that's fucking brilliant.
yeah,
Because he's buffing everything you're gonna want to take. You know what I mean?
yeah,
These are the things you want to take.
yeah.
And now
And
they've
they're
just
good.
become
They're good
so
off the
much better.
bat.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah,
making them
yeah.
better.
Um, yeah, really good. And then the thing with that warlord trait is it's mostly flamers or short range weapons.
Yeah,
So you want to be getting close.
yeah,
But here it is. He doesn't care because he's gonna fucking punch you straight in the face
yeah,
with his weapon skill 7, 10 billion attacks.
yeah.
and just fucking murder you with instant death. Well, +6 rad grenade, plus strength 6 rad grenades, AP2 fucking scythe.
Yeah,
Yeah, really, really, really good.
wild, isn't it?
Really good. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Absolutely crazy. I love
Uh,
Typhon. He is
yeah, no,
so good.
that's
200 points is an absolute bargain. He'd be good value at 265. I think he'll
yes, yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. Well, you think, yeah, like this guy is way cheaper than a kind of Archmagos,
Yeah,
and he's gonna fucking tear an Archmagos to
yeah.
pieces.
Jab and Archmagos to death with his big
Yeah,
scythe.
literally, yeah.
But
Fuck,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not just that. He just does so much. He's a mini Primarch in terms of his
Yeah,
ability to kill, but also his force multiplication as well. He's half the price of Mortarion. I'd probably rather have two Typhons than one Mortarion.
I was gonna say like I would rather this for 200 points than Mortarion.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you've regularly run Mortarion, let us know if we're talking shit. But
yeah.
my
If you
gut
regularly run
feeling,
Typhon, let us know he's the best.
yeah, let us know exactly how amazing he is. Oh God, yeah. Okay, right. Calm myself down.
Yeah. Well, this is the
Uh,
difficult one because I think Crisis Murtog is also I've got a Crisis Murtog converted on my painting desk as we speak, ready to go.
Interesting.
I love this guy. I think he's also got a phenomenal backstory as well.
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about this dude.
Okay,
Um,
so the the potted history of him is he's a Moritat, for want of a better term,
yeah,
essentially. He's referred to as the Black Shield. But that's not to say that he is a Black Shield. He is just referred to as the Black Shield. And essentially, he was
okay,
sent down on Istvan as one of the loyalists that wanted to be expunged.
yeah,
And he survived the initial the initial bombardments and
yeah,
onslaughts and just hid under a pile of dead world eaters until things had kind of calmed down. And when they started to send out units to kind of scour the battlefields to make sure that people weren't to make sure people had been exterminated, he just
yeah.
went on this,
Surprise,
yeah,
motherfuckers.
one man murderous rampage. And over time he essentially just continually just gathered up the remaining loyalist elements of the Death Guard into this just relentless, remorseless, loyalist warband.
Nice,
Yeah, and it's
nice.
really reflected well in his rules. He was also, again, he is an interesting one because he's also a psyker, which I think is why he was kind of persecuted.
Right, okay.
So he was kind of, I think, openly
The
using,
irony.
yeah, openly using psychic powers as well. And Mortarion obviously didn't like
Right.
that. He wasn't like
Yeah.
kind of like covert like Callus
Yeah,
Typhon was.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Shall I take you through his rules then in that case? Then?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So he's got, I love this guy so much. And if you were doing like the loyalist element, or when I run a loyalist army, it will be led by Crisis Murtog because I think he is the nuts. Yeah. I've used the Endred Har model as well to represent him, and I think that seems to be working
Yes.
quite
Okay.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
okay, let's get into him. He's movement 7, his weapon skill and BS 5. Brilliant. Strength 4. Get this, Lee. Toughness 5 on his profile.
Ooh, there it is.
Unkillable mother trucker. 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. His Wargear is 2 disintegrator pistols.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Death's Tally. He's got an Alchem Combi Flamer as well. You just love to see it, don't you, Lee? You just love to see
I
it.
mean, I feel like 2 disintegrator pistols is just asking to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just not give a fuck. Yeah.
Well,
Just
he's not a Moritat, so he hasn't got the ability to like chain fire them.
oh, okay,
So
okay.
he can gunslinger
Interesting.
them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not got it's
I was
not
gonna say, yeah,
quite
if
as
you're
deadly as
pumping out 1 million of them, then you are
yeah.
gonna fucking just blow up turn one. But
No,
interesting, yeah.
he's got the Revenant's Aegis, frag grenades, crack grenades, and also rad grenades. He is a unique character. He's heavy, but again, not in the mats. He's Death Guard and he's a psycho. He is relentless, stubborn, bit of duty, counterattack 1. He's loyalist. He has the shielded by hate special rule, shrouded 6-up, and the shadow of death. So death's tally is essentially it's a tiny, like a short power blade, like a shank, a power shank, if you can imagine
Okay.
such a thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, okay. A power shiv.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. In fact, I'm going to read a little bit of the blurb. This short power blade is crafted for efficiency in close quarters combat to stab and slash in the gory confines of trenches and tight corridors of void ships. Yeah.
Nice.
Murtaugh himself had overcharged the field emitter to dangerous levels, the blade emitting a distinct whine when powered up, always on the very edge of a catastrophic overload. Chrysos was known to have kept a tally of his kills inscribed upon its flat grey edge and have opined that he could not die until he had filled the blade with tally marks. But the last space on the blade was for his own death.
Oh, yes. That is. I like
Okay,
this guy. This is my sort of guy.
I know this.
Yeah, I'm down with this.
This has got Jaggard written all over
Just
it. Oh,
verging on insanity. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So, death tally is strength +1, so make him strength 5, AP 2, melee, overcharged, and reaping blow 2. So obviously, if he's base contact model, he's going to get 2 additional attacks. So overcharged. After a combat in which a model whose weapon has this special rule has made at least one attack has been resolved, roll a dice. On the roll of a 1, that model suffers a wound against which only invulnerable saves may be taken. So after he's attacked, roll a 1, and he suffers a wound. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah,
like
but
it.
he's got, basically 4, 5, he can in theory 7 attacks on the charge. So strength 5, AP 2. And he's got rad grenades, so he's going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s against normal guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice, 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 nice. He has his own warlord trait, which is the Shadow of Death, which this is baller as far as warlord traits go. So during deployment, if an enemy unit is deployed within 18 inches of Chrysos or any model in a unit he has joined, then once all infiltrators and scouts have been deployed, both friendly and enemy, Chrysos Murtaugh and any models in the unit which he has joined may be moved up to 7 inches in any direction.
Oh,
So after
nice.
all
Yeah,
deployment's
that's
done, if there's
great.
a model within 18 inches of him, then he gets to move 7 inches.
Yeah, yeah.
They must end this move in unit coherency. In addition, Chrysos and any unit who's joined may make a reaction of any kind normally allowed to them at no cost to the controlling player's reaction allotment when reacting to an enemy unit entering play from reserves, including part of as a deep strike assault.
Oh,
They get
interesting.
free reaction of any type
Hmm.
when reacting to a unit entering from reserves.
Yeah, that's yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, really cool. So,
Yeah, yeah.
shielded by hate, Chrysos has access to the shielded by hate psychic power and the etheric lightning psychic weapon only, and gains no other discipline psychic powers or psychic weapons. So I think the etheric lightning psychic power is in the book, which is why it's not featured here.
Right. Okay.
But you don't care about it anyway because you're not going to use it 'cause it's got 2
No.
disintegrator pistols. So
Yeah,
he's going to
he's
be wanting
just
to fucking
fucking blasting.
bam those out at the time. Yeah, exactly. So, shielded by hate, once per battle, when Chrysos is reduced to 0 wounds and otherwise removed from play as a casualty, the controlling player may immediately make a psychic check. If the psychic check is passed, then Chrysos Murtaugh is not removed as a casualty, but is instead placed into reserves with 1 wound remaining and may re-enter play as normal. Yeah. If the psychic check is failed, then Chrysos Murtaugh is removed as a casualty, and if Chrysos was part of a unit when the check is failed, then that unit suffers peril to the warp.
Nice,
And
nice. I
lastly,
like
he's
that.
got a 2-up and a 4-up. 2-up in armor save and a 4-up invulnerable save.
Yeah, he is yeah, pretty fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
So if you do,
175 points.
yeah, if you do
Ah.
smash yourself with those 2 disintegrator pistols, there's a chance you can at least come back on 1 wound and do it
Yeah.
all over again.
Yeah, yeah, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And then kill yourself with your overcharged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's wizard, mate.
I think the main thing I take from his rules is that this would just be a fun unit to run. I think
Yeah,
it'd just
really
be
fun.
like just a bit fucking
A bit unhinged.
loco. Yeah, 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 yeah. Which I'm a big fan of. But equally, he's not shit. So
No,
it's
he's really
fun, but
good.
also like 2 disintegrator pistols is no joke.
It's a baller move, that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Cool. I
I
don't
think we've got
know.
one more character. Yeah.
Marshal Durak Rask.
Yeah, do you want to take us through this one?
Yeah, so this is another legacy unit, 165 points. Siege Master of the Death Guard Legion. So his movement 7, weapon skill and ballistic skill 5, strength and toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 9, 2 plus save. He is character unique and heavy. He comes equipped with a Volkite, Serpenter, Defiant, Artificial Armor, Nuncio Vox, Refractor Field, Frag and crack grenades, and 1 Phosphex bomb. His special rules are Death Guard special rules, Master of the Legion, Independent Character, Protocols of Destruction, Traitor, and the Warlord trait, Merciless Doctrine. And then it has a little thing here that says selecting Marshal Durak Rask satisfies the conditions of any limitation of a right of war. Oh,
So
interesting.
here
That
you go.
requires a detachment.
Here's your allied
Yeah.
detachment
Oh,
of creeping
fuck.
death.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Fucking hell. There you go.
Yep.
Already I want to take him.
Yep.
Uh, because obviously Master of the Legion allows him to take a right of war, and then he equally counts as the siege breaker.
Yep.
That is, you don't see much of that in second edition, do you? You don't see
No,
much of these little
it's a
quirks
shame.
that let you
It's a
get
real
around things.
shame.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, yeah, I am already on
You're on
board
board.
with the Marshal. Yeah, so if chosen as the army's warlord, Marshal Durak Rask automatically has the Merciless Doctrine as his warlord trait and may not select any other. So, Merciless Doctrine. Any feel no pain damage mitigation rolls taken against wounds inflicted by shooting attacks made by Marshal Durak Rask and any unit that he has joined are reduced by -1 to a minimum of 6 plus. Uh, for example, if you have a model with feel no pain of 4 plus, it requires a 5 plus roll against the attack. Quick maths there for you if you didn't know
You don't know
very
how to do basic
basic
sums.
maths. In addition, you may make an additional reaction in the opposing player's shooting phase as long as Durak has not been removed as casualty, which I am a big fan of. That is actually really fucking good.
Hmm.
Just messing with people's feel no pain. Feel no pain can be such a pain in the ass in
Can be
this,
such a crutch for
like
people as well.
really can, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has the special rule, Protocols of Destruction. The controlling player of a model with Protocols of Destruction may activate them at the start of any of their own turns, or if the controlling player is not taking the first turn of the battle, at the start of the battle, before the beginning of the opposing player's first turn. Right. Once Protocols of Destruction are activated, any penetrating hits caused by a model with Protocols of Destruction and any unit they have joined gain +1 to any rolls on the vehicle damage chart unit until the beginning of the controlling player's next turn. In addition, any Legion rapier carriers with quad launchers in the same detachment as Marshal Durak Rask may be upgraded to have Phosphex canister shot for +20 points. Okay.
Just like a
And
siege breaker this
yeah,
bit.
and any
Yeah.
Arquita squadrons with more burst bombards and same section may be upgraded with phosphex shells for +20 points. So yeah, basically the siege breaker rule.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, +1 um on a vehicle damage chart is fucking really good.
Put them with your multi-mil heavy support squad, Lee.
Well, they're already AP1, aren't? Oh, well, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, fuck yeah! Holy
Yeah.
shit! I hadn't even thought of
Yeah.
that. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all
yeah.
of a sudden you need what? A 4-up?
Yeah, bang.
Blow something to Kingdom Come?
That's fucking yes. Yes. Oh, Marshall. I know fuck all about this guy. Marshall Durak Rask. I'm gonna have to
Go to research.
yes. Okay. And then he is armed with Defiant, which is a Strength 8, AP2 melee, unwieldy, brutal 2 specialist weapon, Sunder. Okay, so it's
It's a Thunderhammer
essentially a
with Sunder.
Thunderhammer with Sunder. Which I also do not hate.
No.
Um, I really like this guy. Yeah. I mean, mainly because it gets around the Master of
Yeah,
Legion
exactly.
and Siegebreaker, but is actually, yeah, I mean, 165 points. I think, yeah,
Yeah. A Marshal of the Legion siege breaker for 165 points, I think
well, you're
is
saving yourself a HQ slot, aren't you? Straight off the bat.
exactly
Like,
that.
That is
Yeah,
literally it. You're saving yourself a HQ slot. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, I really like that. Um, yeah, really good. Cool. Yeah, well, there you go. There's my future leader of my Death Guard
Death Guard
allied
Allied
detachment.
Detachment.
Um, yeah, yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. And that is it. That
Yeah,
is the
is it? Yeah,
end of the Death Guard Legion deep dive. I feel exhausted, mate.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking
Is your
pumped
head
for Death
spinning?
Guard. Yeah, it is a little bit, but then I usually feel like this when we
Yeah,
do
I know.
this.
Yeah, it's hard not to,
That's the
isn't it?
trouble. But
Yeah, hard not to.
yeah, I don't know what to say, to be honest. Yeah, like, oh, they're just fucking brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think Death Guard are probably they're top tier Legion, aren't they? I think
they really
like
are. Yeah, they're one of certainly
um
when you talk in the pantheon um of the traitor legions, being we've largely, I think when we talk about it, they're considered to be weaker overall than the loyalist legions.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
think that Death Guard, along with Night Lords and maybe the Iron Warriors, probably stand out as one of the stronger overall. But I think,
yeah,
well, as we've discussed, the reason is because they're pretty good all round. They're one of the few legions that is pretty good as an all-round legion, which is interesting considering their kind of backstory. Um,
yes, yeah. Um, I just yeah, I think they lend themselves to taking kind of support squads with flamers, etc., which
which you
kind
wouldn't
of
normally
puts
see, would
them.
you?
No, 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 no,
When have you
not at
seen a
all.
Legion
No,
support squad, Lee?
fucking never. Literally never.
Never,
Well, I
correct,
mean,
yeah.
like we keep talking about flamers, but it just popped into my head of like a Legion support squad. We talked about it on the Patreon not long ago. Or has it gone up? It might not have gone up yet. I might have just absolutely given that away. I can't remember now.
It doesn't matter because people will see it at some point anyway.
Yeah. Fucking no, I can't find it now. Volkite on support squads.
Yeah,
Because obviously the Volkite is heavy, so
yeah,
you rarely ever see it, but actually is a really good option if you don't want to put Volkite, if you don't want to use up a heavy support slot. Um, it's actually a really, I mean, obviously the downside of the support squads is they aren't scoring.
yeah.
Why the fuck can't I find support squads in? Oh, it's tactical support squad right in front of me. But yeah, like the Volkite Caliver, uh, I actually think is a really good choice. But it's heavy free off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Um, but there you go. You don't give a fuck because you're Death Guard, so you just
Yeah.
move and shoot. Like I just think it opens up. I think the thing I'm most excited about Death Guard is it opens up units that you literally never see. You never see flamer squads.
No.
You never see support squads. Heavy support squad is almost always fucking last cannons.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a heavy bolter support squad because
Yeah.
you can just walk them down the fucking table and they can just be blasting away. Uh, and I think that's the thing I like about the Death Guard in my head is a lot of their special weapons, a lot of their units are built for kind of close to mid-range shooting.
Yeah.
But you can have all these guys in the background just moving. Like if the last cannon squad can't see, just fucking
Yeah.
move them. Like, you know what I mean? If you're playing on a built-up heavy terrain table, then just fucking move them.
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of those things, yeah, in some games it just won't come in, like the table's sparse or whatever. But I think there's a lot of games where people will have been like, fuck, I need to move that heavy support squad. But I really don't want to, because then they're all just snap shooting.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, Death Guard don't give a shit about that.
No.
Yeah, I like I like them a lot. Yeah, and then you add in the rights of war, and they just like you just turn it up to 11, really, don't you?
Oh, so good. Mate.
Yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts
Well,
and feelings?
I've invested a lot of time this year painting Death Guard. I've played with them
Mm,
a fair bit now. I think they're just brilliant. I think they are a strong legion without feeling like overpowered.
Yes. Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong. I think especially when you look at, especially the reaping, you
You could
can,
make it oppressive, couldn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
really lean too heavily into it. But I think, I mean, to give you my, like my 2,500 point list has one heavy support squad in it with multi
Right.
meltas.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got like a bit of everything. Really. It's got some vets in there, and it's got some tap marines, and it's got like kind of dreadnoughts, and it's quite. I think it's tough, but it's balanced at the same time. Like I don't
Yeah,
feel like I'm
yeah,
taking the piss with
yeah.
it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Just because your heavy support squads can move doesn't mean you have to fill your entire
Yeah,
army with heavy support squads. Paul,
absolutely that. Yeah,
Paul, are you listening, Paul?
yeah. Remember him?
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think as well, like very interested to hear viewers' comments down in the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking about Death Guard. Have you played them?
yeah,
Have you played
yeah. Let
against
us
them?
know how you've been
How are you
running
looking to
them.
build as well? How you running it? I
Yeah,
think how people running them because there's so much you can do with them. I think that's really nice to consider. Like for
yeah.
me, like I've got a unit of like vets with power mauls and rad grenades as an example. Just super good marine
I
color.
mean, I just love the idea of running a vet squad because I haven't run a single vet squad in second edition.
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, and that's not to say that I think actually vet squads in Iron Warriors have a lot of play,
so do I. Yeah,
but it's just pushing into that elite slot, isn't
yeah.
it? And it's like,
And you want
and Pride of Legion is so fucking can be restrictive with your one heavy support,
yeah.
one fast attack that it almost, I mean, I feel it almost becomes unplayable.
I'd be inclined to agree with you. I think having the ability to move veterans into the troop slot is just opens up another.
Yeah, yeah, it really does.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
happy you
Whew.
play, really.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know. Let us know how you've been doing them. If you've got any quirky, weird lists that we haven't even thought about, I'm sure
Yeah,
there are a million ways that we haven't even thought about. Let us know in the
no,
comments.
absolutely.
But for now, shout out to Battle Bling. Go check them out. They do all sorts. They've been doing nameplates for bases. They've been running a thing for that. So go check them out, battleblingstore.co.uk, or they're on Instagram at battleblingstore and on Facebook. And if you use the code HeresyHammer at checkout, you get 10% off. And they've been doing all sorts of cool shit. Upgrades for the plastic Thalax to turn them into Ursarax, all sorts of stuff. So go check them out. Bits Monsters, based in Northern Ireland. They are a bits company, so if you don't want to buy an entire box of something, you can just buy a few bits. Check them out, Bits Monster. I can't see, I've got box.com. And they're on Instagram again at bits.monster and Facebook bits.monster. They're free UK shipping over 25 quid. And if you use the code Heresy Hammer, you get 10% off all Heresy items. And a club close to John, Curtain Games. Again, if you want superb customer service
Oh,
and great
unreal.
deals, go check out curtaingames.co.uk and Instagram at Curtain Games, and they also run lots of really good events.
They do very,
And
very
they're
good
on
events.
Facebook, Curtain Games. So go check them out, and thanks for their support. But here we are, the creme de la creme of support for Heresy Hammer is our Praetors. We haven't mentioned, well, I think we mentioned it once. So we obviously run a Patreon because we're on YouTube. So why the fuck would we not? It's
Yeah,
just what you do nowadays.
seems to be the
Um,
model.
yeah, that's it, isn't it? So a huge shout out. We have different tiers, uh, and Praetors are our tippy top tier. So shout out to this absolute wall of names we have now, like this second page here. We used to
Yeah.
read them out, but we don't have a spare 5 hours to read the
No,
names.
it's crazy, isn't
Plus I
it?
murdered everyone's name. So
Oh, I know you were terrible at it.
I think we offended more people by reading the names out than just saying
Yeah,
thank you. And
probably, especially you. But thank you so much, everyone. If you are interested, there's a whole load of stuff over the Patreon. We've got like hundreds and hundreds of additional pieces of content now. So
yes.
head over there and you can subscribe for just £3, and it's lovely to support the show. Obviously, if you've made it this far through and you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, then just drop us a little sub and like the video, leave us a comment. That'll be really, really kind. and very interested to understand how people are running their Death Guard or how people have counteracted Death Guard as well. I think that's always another important topic to raise is how have you played against them as much as how have you played with them. So,
Yes. And one last thing with the Patreon is I have had photographs sent to
I've had
me
the samples for the new.
of the next giveaway.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's
it's looking
really good.
good. Yeah, so I will hopefully have some in my hands at some point, hopefully the next week or so. I'm hoping, or at least the next couple of weeks. It is all being produced now. As soon as I have a sample, I will take a video and put it up on the
Yes,
Patreon. Um,
it's really
but
good
yeah,
though.
yeah, it
It is
looks cool.
genuinely really, really good.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not just saying that because I want people to subscribe. I'll be honest with you, these things are costing us an absolute fortune. I'd actually kind of people rather not. But
and I'd like to shout out, oh God, I can't remember the company we're using.
Pro
Fuck.
Painted Studios.
Pro Painting Studios, like absolute shout out to them.
Yeah,
Like
Matt's a really good guy. He's
he,
relatively local to me, and we've played. Funny enough, played some AOS against each other a few years ago.
oh
So
really? Ooh.
yeah, but he's really 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 top
He
notch.
has been so good to deal
I know.
with. Like
Yeah,
I can't begin. Like if there's one thing that I hate about the gaming community, and that's not just Heresy, that's like the whole wide
the
community,
gamut of gaming community.
is like some people can be really good at what they do, but fucking terrible at administration.
Yeah,
And it can become a real nose, like just trying to get stuff sorted. But he has been absolutely fucking amazing to deal with.
yeah,
I and yeah, um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to show it.
yeah. It's
So
really
yeah,
good.
keep
Like
your eyes peeled.
Lee's done a lot of
I feel
hard
like we're
work over the
bigging it
last
up a
few
lot, and
years.
people are like, "Is that it? Oh, shit."
No, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good.
And then yeah, so keep doing hashtag Heresy Hammers. We will have a community show for this month coming.
I think you and I are
Uh,
recording that next week, aren't we?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not, oh, we, uh, and obviously, at Heresy Hammer Show on Instagram, like, subscribe, comment, and share on the YouTube. It obviously helps our algorithm the more people like and comment.
Yes, please do that.
I will warn you, if this show's about 5 months old, we probably won't reply to your comments
I
because
don't know. We
we're
might do. I've got
fucking
into a bit of a
busy.
habit.
Are
Pardon.
you like we are like
Of
I
checking.
we try to reply to comments, but I have noticed that you have to go in and look on the show thing to see comments from like
Don't worry.
if we did a show a
I will
year
reply.
ago.
I will reply to your
He
comment.
fucking says that.
Lee won't do,
He
but
won't fucking reply to
I reply.
anything.
I reply. Piss off. Such a little slug. I reply to all the fucking comments. Thank you very much. I
We
pay.
have comments. I've been on there and we'll have comments from a show we put up 2 years
Yeah, if I
ago.
don't like the
And
comment, I'm not going to respond to it, obviously. So make sure that it bigs me up a little bit.
But we do try and comment, we do try and reply, but we are extremely busy people, and it is quite hard to keep up with fucking, the Patreon, Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah.
WhatsApp, YouTube. There is only so far our time can go. And
Sounds
saying
like
that,
Rob.
if you have any lists that you want to send us,
Yeah.
email it to heresyhammer30k@gmail.com. I
That's
was
right.
having a quick look through
Kerry
the
deals with
email.
the lists anyway, to be fair, so that's
I
fine.
was having a
Producer
quick look
Kerry can deal with that.
through the email through our emails this morning, and I was like, there are a lot of unanswered emails on there. And we've already mentioned it, but if you would like to support us, go check out our Patreon. We are available on all podcasting sources. Uh, we are uploading our shows, so they
Yeah,
are
we're
not
going through
all on there.
the
So we
back
are,
catalogue slowly
yeah,
uploading
there's
stuff. We're not going to do it all in one hit. We want to drip feed
no.
it a little bit, but
So if you would rather listen than watch, then go check out podcasting. If
ideally
you
do
have,
both.
yeah, if you have, it would be nice if you came and gave a quick look on YouTube and gave it a thumbs up, just because it helps us out. And then we have our WhatsApp community, which I mean, like it is an absolute rabbit hole of heresy
I was
goodness.
away driving and meeting for about 38 hours, and I came back and there were 1,700 messages posted in the WhatsApp.
It's
So it's
it's
absolutely popping off, and it's got people talking about lore. We've got people talking about lists. We've got people talking about kind of like getting ideas for getting around rules. We've got people
I mean,
talking about modeling and painting. We've got the general banter where anything, people talk about any old shit. We've got 3D printing
yeah.
groups on there. It's crazy.
It's
So
good. It's
and
good.
it's yeah, you can join it for free. You just need to if you go to Linktree, I think it's link.tree/Heresy Hammer, or jump onto the Instagram and follow the link tree in the bio
Yeah.
and notes as well. You'll get to it. And just yeah, love to see you over there. It's really, really good. I know that Rob is super active on there. I try and dip in as much as I possibly
I
can, but
yeah, I try I dip in and I'll read bits and then I'll dip out because I
yeah,
would lose a
you're less
day
concerned.
if
Yeah,
well, I like it. It's good. I like getting in there and there's some good chat on there.
there is some
But
really good chat on
I
there.
just don't have the
Absolutely.
time. I don't have
Yeah.
the time. I mean, I just looked at it now and the general banter alone has 721 unread messages from me. So I'm like, there's no way I can sit here for an hour and read 721 fucking
No.
messages. So I tend to dip in, laugh at
Yeah.
something, and then dip out.
Yeah,
But
me and
it
so Rob
is
and
it
I
is good. Yeah.
are probably more active. But then again, we've got like 400 active users, all who absolutely love heresy. So if you want to make
Frothing
some friends, this is the best
frothing
one
for
to do.
heresy. And it is genuinely like a positive place. I
Oh, it's really good.
see
Yeah,
very few
I've not had to ban anyone
negative.
yet. I got close once, but I've not had to ban anybody
Yeah,
yet. I've had to
I
rein
mean
a
it's
couple of people in.
yeah, it's that's always going to happen, isn't it? People get
Yeah,
excited or don't realize what
don't
other
realize exactly. I
people
think don't
offended by.
realize what they are saying might upset other people.
Yeah, but then again, like we have people from all across the globe on
Oh
there,
yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
from Latin America to the
There are some
deaf
people in
world of
there.
Australia to
They've got like their flag against like their phone number. I don't even recognize the flag.
yeah,
I'm like, I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
seen this before.
Yeah, yeah.
Where even is
Did we
Burundi?
own that once?
Yeah,
It is fucking brilliant. It's really good. So yeah,
yeah,
if you wanna get involved, or if you don't, if you just want to read like the nonsense people are talking about, like yeah, get involved
yeah,
and get on there. It's really good to see. Yeah, I find I don't really go on Facebook heresy sites anymore because there tends to just be not necessarily a lot, but there tends to be a negativity there that kind of I just don't want to see. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
want to hear it.
That's
It's
fair.
not for me. Like I
Yeah,
don't, if you want to go on there and moan about GW being the fucking Antichrist, then that's go knock yourself out. But I don't really
you
care.
haven't
Like
you haven't got the time, have you?
no. So it is, yeah, it's a cool, positive place to go chat
Yeah,
all about the thing we love.
yeah,
I think we've talked enough, mate.
yeah, mate.
Is
We're
that
gonna
it?
go now because I need to go back to bed.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. We'll see you at the next one.
Take
Laters.
care. Bye bye.